just reminded myself, and we'll do the same thing in a second. Just reminded myself. Okay, definitely seems to be working. I don't know if you heard that feedback. And yep, I definitely can see myself on the other normal screen where I can see you guys in your chats. So welcome. Hey, welcome, Red Fox. Glad you're here. I'd like to start out because I got a comment. I very rarely, for all the comments that we get on the regular series, I didn't get many comments on these, but it was pointed out to me that I had at the very end, I assume it was, remember, if you guys remember what we were doing, at the end we realized with we added more people towards the end, and then that meant we were getting more people to our oil refinery, which meant we weren't keeping up with the production. So I went and added 2 more cisterns to our asphalt plant, which is probably not exactly what we want. So let's just click them here, still paused. Let's at least get it into slow mode, right? Because Lord knows we don't get enough done. And it's amazing to me that we spend 3 hours. Like, I guess I don't think about it. I enjoy playing the game enough that I don't really usually think about how much time we're spending doing things. So that should leave one guy left to bring asphalt there. And why don't we just head up here and do it the old-fashioned way rather than trying to copy and mess it up. So I will come here and hit plus. Let's delete this one. And it doesn't, we could put it on unload it. Well, you know what? I'm kind of getting in the habit of putting it on unload anything when it's going to a custom house. And then it makes it a little easier in some ways. Like, I don't leave it on anything other than the meat trucks just because they only haul meat. But everything else always will say unload anything when it's at a custom house, makes it a little more recognizable to me. So I'm going to try to keep that trend, even if they're just going back and forth. Why not? There we go. So we'll delete that. And to be honest, it's also easier, right? I don't have to unclick. These trucks only have 3 things, but when you're doing the other trains or whatever, they call so many different things. All right, so there we go. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, hello, Rotzko and Shunter. How are you guys doing? I am doing particularly well today. The only thing I have to say about these live streams is we end up with like some beautiful weather here every time I live stream. I think there's been that one stormy day, and even that was just a few storms that went by, but it's another beautiful Saturday afternoon here. So, and that's nice. It was a nice, and it's not so hot here. We were getting up towards 35 or even more Celsius for a while, which is like 95, I think, Fahrenheit, something like that. So now it's only getting to, in the Fahrenheit, it's getting up to like, maybe 85, which I think is more along the lines of like 27 or 30, maybe at the most, maybe 30. I'm not the best Celsius one. So here's where's our debates. I don't know if we're continuing debates. I know Radomir and was it Pietro? Where some people were thinking along the lines of firing up the bricks. We should probably just check that our construction guys are doing something, whatever it is. Yes, they're still working down here to get this going, and I definitely want to keep this moving. But I guess the question was, we don't have a massive amount of money. Now, we should be getting a little bit more of a bump at that point with the extra trucks. Now, at some point, we'll probably hit a little bit of a limit, and we'll start getting a bit of a jam up here. But as long as that doesn't happen. So we have more bitumen trucks that we just put on. Is that one of them? No, it's an oil unloading. So eventually, we'll definitely want to do this. I'm half of a mind that we wait on spending any steel until we get our steel going. Hey, Foxy Cool. I see you're back as the Fox Gaming. That's kind of good, because at least then I know you're not Tom Plays. At least if you change it next time, let me know. If you want. I guess you could be incognito if you like. Then again, I should guess from the star, huh? Hi, Rotzko. Well, let's see. Let's just see how it goes. But I definitely, I'd like to just let it run a route just to see because I didn't. I intended to assign those, and I don't like if we just give it a few minutes. And I don't disagree with getting more. Now, the only other thing is we do have a large amount of them going up there. But you see, there's a pretty big gap. So I just like to let it flow for a minute. Oop, no, there's not a gap. No, there's like, it's like ants bringing food back at this point. I mean, it's an awful long ride. Now, the other thing that's going to happen to us is, even though it's not a very quick process, is the further we get from here, but I kind of forgot to assume, well, I didn't kind of forget. I forgot to assign this guy to more and more road projects. So that's another question for us. I don't know, are we going to ever build anything up here? If we are, then it might be worth building another construction plant. But at some point, I would probably attach these two roads together. The only reason I didn't do it yet is just because I wanted, well, there was no point in it. But beyond that, just make it one big, long construction project even here. Well, I mean, we don't really have a ton. I mean, we could get, we're pretty, well, let's see, how much do we have? Yeah, we could we could buy more trucks now that we have a few bucks. Is that what you mean? And really, it's just a matter of dumpers. I hate to buy the dumpers until, I don't know if do you guys remember when we get the bigger dumper? Like, I hate, not that I hate these little ones, but it is nice to get the 16-ton dumper. It's definitely a more efficient truck. But yeah, let's get two more. That'll be a little bit of a boost for now. Cuts into our money, but not too much. Trucks aren't too expensive at this point. So yeah, then we're going to get this. One of the things to keep in mind is, and I don't think building that road's a bad thing. But we can't do too much construction because we'll run out of money. We're really not producing anything. And then the other thing I want to keep an eye on as we get into this is, how are we doing? We're going to see an increase. Like if we take a look at last month, let's just look at the food in particular, like 5,000 in food. And remember, we added a bunch more people, which is good. I think that's going to help us overall make more money, but I just want to make sure of that. And I don't know, we probably should just go even into fast forward mode, huh? Because why not? Let's get as much done this episode or this live stream as we can. And how is everybody else doing? This guy, yeah, he's doing that. And the other side of it is, if we put extra resources in, I'd like to put them into here. But yeah, getting that road done will be good. It's just a little bit limited. Yeah, I'm just trying to obviously get my own thoughts straight. Yeah, see, we're sort of slowed down. Now, the other thing is, I don't know how many trucks we can keep up with. Let's head on back here and make sure. Yeah, see, we're using a lot of the gravel that we're making. Though we still are maxing it out. But I think the biggest issue sometimes with the gravel ends up being, you just can't get the trucks in and out of here fast enough. But it's good. I'm glad to see that's not our problem yet. But let's see the effect. I know it doesn't come across maybe in the regular stream, but I do like to do things and then see what the impact's going to be, and then ramp it up. See how we're not full of bitumen here. So getting more trucks, it may have just been that we were already backed up a bit. So getting more trucks may or may not be necessary. And then if you kind of take it slow to a degree, you get the chance to sort of see how many more you might need. Are we barely keeping up, or we're not keeping up? Is this just a lucky stretch of a lot of trucks coming in? And if it is, then that's fine, because they'll get this number back down if we have enough before it has a chance to climb all the way back up. But I'm not really seeing a bitumen truck coming out of there. So we'll see. Let's just give it a few minutes. If this is still up there, we'll get even more. And then, yeah, and then that's the other thing, exactly. Once we can get this road built, it's going to cut down on the round trip time, which will be the same thing as adding more trucks. So, and then we'll definitely could consider building a railroad track up that way. Yes, that's I definitely tend to agree. We can take a vote, but we are doing, I don't want to say everything we possibly can, but keep in mind that we're also letting our money build up a bit too, right? So it's sort of a double-edged sword. Like, you can try to go as fast as you want, but it all, like when I first started playing, and I probably said this, I know I've said this to you guys that have been around a while, I didn't even understand why they gave you this screen. Like, it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, what does this tell me? I don't need to know that. I want to know how much food I'm producing. But it really is important because because a lot of it's going to come down to your construction here. And by the way, constructions isn't really a word Americans would ever use, but your construction projects, construction is, yeah, at any event, we don't say constructions. You can see we're spending 34,000 here, and this is another, it's pretty much 12,000. I know it's a move, where let's go here. So it's not a moving target. So like last month it was 83, and then this is 41, 42, 52, 58. So we have 30,000 a month that we're producing. You can't really point it directly at your numbers, but this is important because we can only really construct that much more before we start running out of materials, whether we're exporting them or not. Right? It doesn't really matter because you're just draining off the supplies you have on your map if you go negative. So you can go negative with this between these two a little while, but eventually it's going to catch up with you. So I don't mind that we're saving up a few bucks by not putting in like all the construction trucks we possibly could here. And then the question, I guess one of the reasons I was asking the question, do we do anything with this? Because I would say, should we move over one of these construction crews? Or both? Now, the problem with moving them at all is that I think you're actually better off near your supplies. So even though on some jobs that might not be true, especially on the smaller jobs, you're definitely better off because a lot of times the trucks will head back to here if they don't need any materials. And then once they head back to here, it's actually quicker for them to go to here and then back out, as opposed to, kind of heading back to their construction and then having to head back every single time. Like if you cancel something, they're closer kind of thing. Oh, good. Look, we got a construction yard. So this is going to cost us a little bit of money. So this doesn't have power supply. Yeah, maybe we should hold off. Now why? Because this isn't finished yet. We are assigned it. And we're assigned this. Now the other thing we want to get going pretty quick is this gas station. Let's go. Yeah, I guess we should just leave these open. Do any of you guys mind if we leave that open up there? I know this one also we could put and just shrink them. That's what I do a lot of times, so I don't have to keep going back and forth when I'm working far away. So let's make sure we get that as a sixth priority. And you can help bring materials over. And then another question I would have is, this is our firehouse. We want to get that, but that's why we want to get this stuff going ASAP. We don't want to build too many things, but even if we don't have people over here, it will help to have all the other supplies over here. Then once we have that, then we talk about moving the construction crew over, and then this would get us. Yeah, I will have to even. I'm assuming it would be beneficial to bring gravel over here. Yeah, this is concrete. Yeah, aggregate storage now. I don't really see us building another quarry over here. Yeah, so I think the thing to do, see if you guys agree, is just to get this and fill it up with new equipment. It's not like we won't want 3 construction crews in the future, and as you said, anything we assign these guys, they can help. Now, the other side of it is we're going to have most of the supplies except for people. And people, we're just going to have to get. I definitely think we should build the center of town here. And another question: what do you guys think? Did you watch the test video on happiness? Because if you did, you may note that I don't think we should even build this pub. Let me know what you think. It's, I think it's just going to bring a shorter lifespan and do us absolutely no good. We're almost better off giving them nothing except for a shop. Now, I don't think in the long term that's true. I think you really, I mean, and I hope you guys picked up from what I said at the end of the test. Like, I don't think we should do nothing. I just don't think we should do a pub. I think you should give them everything else they want: sports and cinema and, the food and all that, the shopping center. But I really think it's just a big negative to give them the pub. So what do you guys think? Should we even try to delete it over here? I mean, we could, this is all about learning and playing. I mean, we could leave it going. But I wonder if we couldn't increase their lifespan. I mean, they're plenty happy enough, even if it drops off a little bit. That's the other point. Mike Gannon has made a few suggestions of, well, if they're working in their pub, then they could be happy. But I just don't see any evidence. And even if that's true, like, why take the chance that some of your people are unemployed? Like, and then they would become just short lifespan. Like, so it's just, the pubs just do not seem to do you any real good when it comes to keeping more people. Yeah, I mean, I like a good pub. It's like going against my nature to want to say pubs are bad. Like, it's just, that's not me. you know, any pub's a good pub almost. So do we delete it? Take a vote. Or do we? How about we just build the next town without it, and we can compare the difference between the two? They should be reasonably similar. Yeah, I don't want to. Like, we don't need 100% happiness. The lifespan's awful high over here, so it doesn't seem to be. But I think that the reason the lifespan's high is because look how little they're actually going to the pub. Right? And we'd almost be, well, we're not producing alcohol. Like, how much do we spend in alcohol? I don't know. Because if they go to do sports and they go to do the cinema, it doesn't really cost us any imports. So if we come over here to imports, like, the pubs are costing us $149. I guess there's not too much. Well, that was this month. Yeah, let's just see last month. 380. See, I think that's why it's not affecting their overall. It's not affecting the lifespan so much because they're not actually. They prefer to go to the other things anyway, from what I understand, and not go to the pub if they can go to other entertainments. Yeah, a pub is definitely a good place. I think if you spend too much time in the pub, that can be an issue. But again, that's, I guess, what the game's point. I think they're a little bit harsh in the taking down of the lifestyle thing. I didn't expect it from that test. I just didn't. And as you guys have known if you watch, it's the first time I've ever had a conversation about not building a pub. And it's just because it was so drastic a difference when we didn't build the pub in those towns on the test map. So what I think I'm going to do is well, we just don't have to build it, right? We could just leave it there unless it gets in our way. And it's not attached to a road, so it's not even like they might accidentally auto-construct it. Let's just not build this pub. If we need the space, we'll consider that in the future. Yeah, so we got meat storage. Yeah, we have a proper little shopping center if we ever fire up. It's definitely something. It's almost. I think it's. Well, I think both of these are nice to have. I mean, you really need the extra parking around the shopping center. Let's make sure we have everything we need. Cinema. Yeah, there's football playground. I really hope. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I really hope at some point in the future, they definitely consider ramping up the visibility of these construction things. I mean, now it's absolutely like I complained about them having dots, and now they don't even have dots there. So hopefully they can get it. So like you can't even see the electrical constructions. You can't even see that you put a conveyor in anymore. I'm not sure. They did an update and they made things highlight to different colors, but overall, I'm not sure I like the new shader or whatever it is they did. Okay, so yeah, we just have to get these things built. It's going to be slow. This is the part of the map. Oh, let's keep an eye on this guy too. You can just pop him out. Oh, did I shut the other one off? And see, this is why I don't get into the escape. And I don't know that I hit escape, but when I pop these open, like people were saying, well, wait, you had that built. Why do you close it like that? It's because a lot of times when I play with these open. And then this is one of the ways I do it, like just to do the manual assignment. So I prioritize. And in this case, we can't even really do auto construction anyway, because we're too far away. I guess we could maybe move people over here. But then again, I think you're losing some efficiency. Now, is this guy not assigned? No, he is. We just haven't gotten there. We're getting some resources. Need a few boards. Is there any issue with our boards, or we're just waiting for a flatbed? Yep, just waiting for a flatbed. Yeah, we're not producing anything. Well, we're producing gravel. And bitumen. Yeah, so we're producing. All right, let's take a look at this. Yeah, let's see, how close are we to done this project? 60%. That means we're paving, right? Yeah, good. The rolling might take a little while, but it's consistent once that roller gets out there. You know what this guy could use over here? Let's just make sure we don't have an extra one. He could use, now that we're getting further away, it really wouldn't hurt if he had an open haul. No, we just have 2 buses there. Okay. So let's buy him the biggest open haul we can get, just because it'll carry the biggest piece of equipment. And it's that one. And can he carry this? Yeah, 5 tons. He can carry up to 13 tons. I just don't think this guy can't carry the later game American excavators, like the big bulldozer and the big excavator you can buy from the Americans. But there we go. So that won't hurt him when it comes to getting the roller or the asphalt paver out there in the future. All right. So do you guys have any suggestions? Any thoughts? I see, yeah, next town, no pub. Like I got you, Shunter. Right there. We'll just not build it. And like I said, if we need the space, I guess we could start putting down some houses. We don't need a ton of them to get started and we don't have the ton of people anyway. And one of our rules on the map is not to purchase in more people. So, but let's just see, just for laying out, if we could, that's the wrong button. I really would like them to combine these two the more I play. Like, maybe it's my screen is bigger, but I don't see why you couldn't put all of these buttons on one thing. Like, I think they would all fit in there very nicely right over on the side here. I mean, it's certainly no worse than when you open these other menus and they go all the way down here. So in any event, let's go back to the right one and let's just see. Now, we're not making bricks and we're not making prefabs. And while I think some people think the bricks are cheaper, they're not. If you remember the math calculation with really steel is your driving construction cost. It's the most expensive construction material. And this uses a little bit less, a little bit more than half of the steel. So one of the tests I'm going to do in the future is between these two. Do you think it makes a difference if we do the little bit lower quality? Price-wise, it should be almost the same. Well, it is the same. The only two differences is we get 10 more people in here. And I've never really noticed any ill impact of that. So I think I might just go for the 189s in this case. I know it gets, I hate when they connect like this. I tend to like to put them this way so that call it the main road through town there doesn't get too many constructions. I'll put this on the corner. All right, that's your, let me do my wireframe. I know if you leave at least 2 in between those arrows, well, it's not quite at least 2, but if you leave it at least 1.5 or so like this, you'll definitely be able to get a road in there and attach it up. So let's hit R here. And this will be more than enough houses planned for the near future. And you don't need to leave much room behind it. Yeah, I don't know if I go closer. Well, we really don't need a footpath. So you know what, because I think if I bunch this up, we might get, yeah, let's come on. I know you'll do it. There we go. Yeah, I hate when it does that. All right, let's get rid of some of these. Leave the middle one in. I've never seen a benefit to all of those. And yeah, we can get rid of a couple footpaths. All right, cool. This road's getting done. How are we doing over here? 74%. And does this guy still have plenty to do? Yeah, he's working on these 2 roads. And then once these get done, what can we attach? How are we doing here? Well, we got our gas station going. We need to get this done. Then we can get a cistern over here. And are you still? Yeah. Yeah, it's just a matter of a bit of patience. But I wanted to put this on just to see. Yeah, I guess we could. Oh, look at that. It attached and messed up this whole road. A little. I guess we might as well leave those attached. Fortunately. Yeah, no, it did mess up this road, didn't it? Yeah. See, now it's 17 different projects. So let's. Yeah, we'll assign both of these. To do that. Just to keep everybody with all their trucks as busy as possible. Yeah, so, yeah, let's let them finish pave. I should have let them finish paving that before I did what I did. I didn't even think of those I didn't even notice that those little footpaths were attaching and messing up my road construction. That's all right. But we got a bunch of houses. That's what, 189 times 5 is almost 950, something like that. So we'll have a good number of people. And again, we don't need to get nearly of them going right away, but at least we'll have them. And then, did we ever put in a bus stop? I know I thought about a bus stop. What is this, kindergarten? Yeah, we have a bus stop here. Let's use the measuring tool. / substation. Yeah, they should be able to walk to that bus stop, no problem. Will they be able to walk to the firehouse? Some of them might. Let's try to build this one first, and they might even be able to make it up to that firehouse. So it's a little bit far. And if they can't, well, we could get them from the bus stop. Well, let's just see. We'll have to build a footpath, but I think I'd like to put another row of these houses in, which I guess there's, well, before I do that, I wouldn't mind laying the road out just to make sure they all fit. Yeah, and I'm getting anxious to do something. Let's turn off the wireframe. And what are you doing? What are you guys doing over here? Are you still paving? What is it? I thought 77% was when they got ready to roller. What do you need? Some 0.46 of asphalt? Okay. Maybe it was 78%. So is this our asphalt? Oh, back here. Yeah, 0.47 of asphalt on its way. Good job, buddy. Get on out there. And then what we'll have, yeah, this one kind of ends right here. We'd almost want to do this one. Yeah, I'd almost, well, you know what? I think what I want to do, we could start that construction, but they're going to be coming up here. They'll be good to go. So what I guess we could do is just do a little bit of a, well, heck, it could just be a dirt path, right? Can I come off of this way? Yeah. Right, and even though that breaks it into another construction project, which is against my OCD type tendencies, it will, in the long run, it'll get them using this that much faster because they'll just complete this one. They don't have to complete the whole thing, and then we could keep working on the whole thing, but they'll be able to jump over to here for that little dirt path, and that'll speed them up this whole length. I don't think there's any reason to get rid of the gravel road. There we go. There's where our flatbed truck's coming in handy, taking that guy out there a lot quicker. You wonder, and I could understand the game has its limits, but it would be kind of nice if this guy would have waited, because one of the problems we may run into with him is like when he does these roads, he's going to run out of fuel. And at some point, he's going to be too far away that he's not going to be able to recognize, like they have a limit to how far they'll search for a fuel thing. So that guy may end up getting stranded out there, which may force us to build another fuel thing and run power out there. Because that's one of our other rules is that if we could build whatever we want, but we're going to have to eventually run power out to it. So let's go see how these guys are. I guess we should take a look at our economy and make sure that's doing okay. See, we're down to 317,000. What do we even spend that on? See, well, we're starting to get into building a few more buildings, but I wouldn't have expected it to go down that much. Power. Yeah, see, that's another problem is we're really going to want a power plant. But if we can get the steel going, even though that's very costly, we don't have to run it all the time, and we can make enough steel that we could build a power plant and a coal mill, and it'll make the power plant and the coal mill a lot cheaper. I guess if you really want to do analysis, you could, but yeah, so what else? Steel. Yeah, well, food. Yeah, remember we expected our food to go up a bit, but it didn't go up too much from the month before this one. Would it would only complete it faster if the trucks weren't busy, right? And then I don't know if it would be faster overall if they started going up that way. I mean, I guess it certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. You mean like start assigning this one? Yes, but I think what I'd like to do is assign this one first, which I can't do until this one is, like, let's prioritize this one because this one definitely will be faster. It won't take that much longer to get this. But yes, now that we did the little gravel road or the dirt road thing, that's a good idea. Like, in other words, the other thing I was saying is it's only faster if you have trucks, right? It's like, in other words, if all these trucks were busy, which it's a good argument. If we weren't almost done, if I had thought about it 20 minutes ago, or if you had suggested it 20 minutes ago, yeah, well, let's just, I mean, we only got a few, the roller's out there. He's on his way back already, I bet. Is he? No, he's still on his way out, but he'll be, it won't take that much longer. We'll get this one assigned, then we'll assign probably, I wouldn't be opposed to assigning these two. Like if I did it in this order, 1, 2, and then 3, because they will prioritize the trucks. Yeah, and that really leads to the argument, well, we do touch here, so we could do something similar potentially up here. Yeah, I have 7 vehicles standing by, but only because, but all I'm going to do is slow down this one, is what I'm saying. Like I want this one to be the priority because it's longer and bigger, so that when one's not building the first segment, then we go to the next segment, then we go to the next segment. Because I want to get these 2 segments done. If they built this, yeah, I mean, you have a good argument. All right, let's do that. We'll just see what, if it has a negative effect, we won't do it anymore. But I don't want to assign this one, right? Because let's get these 2 done first. Now, the problem is, I do wish there was a way we could reprioritize these. In other words, like, I assign this one. I don't want to have to cancel it in order to make this one the highest priority, but I can't. Like I want this one to get done first because it's going to be the fastest one to get done, right? Now, all of these trucks, unless we reprioritize them, are going to be working slower because they're going to be driving down that gravel road. And they're going to prioritize this now as the number 1 job. And they're not going to work on this one nearly as fast, where if they got this one done first, they're going to be coming up that much further on a paved road to get to here. Does that make sense? And not this completely windy road there. But that's all right. At least you're probably right in that they're moving. And like I said, we'll see how well it goes. Yeah, and let's see, look, it's still... Well, the good news is it didn't even send out that last truck, which means those trucks were enough to fulfill its whole job. But then the problem we'll get into is it's going to send out this paver, and then it'll send out it on the flatbed. And when you try to do 2 jobs with 1 flatbed, what might end up happening is that the paver will get out there and then drive back manually the whole way while this guy is taking the roller out, instead of going like right out to this one. So then we have to wait for that paver to drive all the way back until he gets to this first one, which is the whole time kind of the priority. Not that it's any priority other than in my own head. Does that make sense? So you do have to watch out with assigning more than 1 road job to these crews, because especially if they're very far away, because if they don't take the thing you need out with the flatbed, that it's going to take forever and a day for that thing to get there. No, I don't know if he's good. And that's just a problem in general, especially when they're done the job. See, he's halfway back down the hill. That'll be good. Even if we do cancel this if we think it's going too slow, it'll still be good to get those materials out there while we were waiting, right? Where are those trucks? There's 2 of them. Yeah, see, they're going to go down the long and winding gravel road through town. Should be more behind them. Yep, there they are. A little fleet of trucks. Cool. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. And I guess when it comes to some of this stuff, not so much on the beginning map here, at a point, even I get tired of the micromanagement type thing. Like it just all becomes too much. at that point. It's just, just assign the next section, let them work on it, go over here, especially when you're on, bigger map and you're trying to assign everything manually. Let's see. Let's check out how these guys are. Do we get we got our construction office. Oh, we have power. Yes, we have power. Okay, good. So I think that we have a paver and we have the other stuff in here. Right, so I think that I would not worry too much about that, and I think I would try to want to make this guy mostly a regular construction crew. Now, I accidentally bought those buses over here, or whatever happened. What was that? Oh yeah, that's a bus. All right, let's get quick on this. So I think 2 buses will be fine, especially considering at this moment we don't even have any people. We can always take one off anytime we want. All right, so we'll get the 2 buses in here. We just have to remember that as we're buying equipment to leave 2 spaces. So let's take a look, and yeah, we definitely want, I don't know, we got a lot of dumpers here to help bring gravel and stuff over. What do we have in this one? Because these guys are mostly going to be assisting with bringing stuff over in a lot of ways. And this is a regular construction crew. And you know what else we have that I don't think, that I want to bring over, if nothing else, just for the sake of pushing into our agricultural area. Let's take these 2 things out of here. I don't think we're going to be doing any leveling that we can't do from here. So this is the excavator, and we'll have a bulldozer, and so I guess I'm questioning how many dumpers, especially considering we've got an awful lot of dumpers right now, but I think we should at least have 1 dumper, right? And what I'm thinking of doing with this guy, because we're building the steel mill, is make him a little bit heavier on the concrete and a little bit heavier on the open bed, because we're going to need a lot of those. So we should definitely get a covered haul too, just because they should all kind of have a covered haul eventually. Let's get, the bigger covered haul. And then let's get at least 2 of these biggest open hauls. Now we got to leave, well, here our buses are in there, so we're still waiting on 2 more. We got to leave 2 more spaces. So if we left 2 more spaces and a crane, right? And we do have, we have open haul. Do we just want to bring, you know what? I think I just want to bring the crane from over here. Well, no, you know what? They're going to be helping. We could use 2 cranes. Let's zoom back to here. All right, because the crane's kind of expensive. We get the fastest crane. And then why not 3 concrete mixers? Right? And that should give us, a fair amount. A fairly good crew for building the steel mill in particular, but it'll be able to build really anything other than, it won't do big roads very well. That all makes sense? And you know what else needs to make sense? Let's see how much this, oh look, we're down to 212. All right, well, limit the amount. We just don't want to ever get any wood. There's no real reason to limit it like some things, as far as we'll just whatever. If we just purchase 1 shot of each of these other than the wood, I think we'll be in good shape. It's not that much money, though the steel, it'll hurt. Here we go. Ouch. We're not quite done this, but we're getting real close. So the next things we need to work on is getting this road finished. Let's see. So this guy's got this one done. Let's get him on that one. And you might as well help with that one too. Okay, so this one got done. Okay, good. We can get, oh, so this one wasn't done. Let's get them all. Let's get these two, even though they're not necessarily the best ones for this. Let's make sure they've got all these roads around here assigned. Which one don't you have? What is, oh, that's a house. No, I want the first house to be over here. I guess it doesn't matter. Well, this is probably on, yeah, I don't want this guy on auto search. We definitely need to prioritize what we need to prioritize. All right, that time escaped worked fine. All right, so this is, okay, so he's done that other road. So let's go out here and get him assigned to this one. Yeah, except your ability to coordinate the vehicles, Ratsko, is probably far better than what the game does, because you would never send your bulldozer back. Like, as now in this case, I don't think it's too particularly bad, but if you think about it, I just assigned this one. Now the excavator's going to head out there. What ends up happening is, in this game, you can slow yourself down more. Or maybe it's not more. You could do a test. I don't think I'm willing to do that particular test. But you know what I'm saying? You could really slow yourself down, because look where this excavator's going now. Or if this was your only like gravel flattener, I guess you could call it. And what will happen is that's almost definitely going to happen with this other equipment now that we have two jobs assigned. Right? Like, so once this, the the asphalt thing is getting out there pretty quickly now. But when he gets done, right, like picture, he's going to get done this. Depending on the timing of this, he's going to be driving all the way down there. So it might take longer to get this paved, and he probably will make it all the way back here. Just my guess from experience and guessing. But you see what I'm saying? Like, so you have to kind of watch out for that. That's all. What are we doing? And then the other thing is, like now, if you notice, we don't have any materials. Now, there might be some materials heading this way, but they're still prioritizing doing this. So what's happening is now they're also using the long and slower road to go do this job, which means this job will take longer than it would have had you used this paved road that was right here that we're not done yet. Does that make sense? Like, if this road were done, then this one wouldn't take as long. And so now, because we're working on this one, it's also not prioritizing this one, which means it's maybe not as fast as you think it would, just for the sake of keeping busy. And again, like I said, when you combine that with the micromanaging aspect, sometimes I just say, well, you know what, I'm just going to do one road at a time. But it's fine. We'll see how it goes, right? And again, I think the further away you get, what I'm saying becomes, like, if we were to try to do it here, it becomes more and more of an issue when we try to assign this one instead of this one first. Because we'll be able to do the same exact thing here, and then now we're even further away. But I'm also curious if we're not going to have to build a gas station out here at the very least. Because we may start getting... They may not be able to find a gas station when they get done here. And if he's out of fuel, that's going to be a problem. All right, how are we doing here? Okay, good. We got this going. Now we're ready to start officially. Limit the amount. I'm just going to ramp this one all the way up so it gets all of them to 0. And then we just, at this point, want mechanical components. And this is, yeah, you know what? We're never going to put plastics. This is where we want, like, the absolute minimum ever to go in here. So we're not going to buy plastic. So this, I don't know if it'll, see, if we click on mechanical components, the least you can buy is 20, but we at least cut that down to 10. because we really don't want to buy too much of this stuff at this point, and because this is like the most expensive stuff. So at least we've cut this one down to like 8. So that's a good thing, because we just don't need that many of them. And as soon as we go to buy them, we can buy them. It'll refill. All right, so there we go. So we got electrical and mechanical components. Now let's assign this guy. Yeah, it's be a little bit painful. Let's go take care of our workers first. So the workers for now are going to have to come from all the way over here. But like I said, we'll generally get these houses going ASAP. Yeah, where's our bus stop? It's not a bus stop. There it is. No, not construction. We don't want to build another bus stop. We just want to assign that. Yeah, and then now we have to see how much it slows us down building the other one. Right? So yeah, and I got you. Like I said, I think it's situational. And that's why I say for me, at the end of the day, it's like, boy, it's getting into so much micromanagement. To me, it's a little bit like micromanagement times 2 to a degree. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like the micromanagement. Don't get me wrong. It's just at a certain point, yeah, gravel's going to have to come from all the way over there too. Gravel and asphalt until we get these things built. Yeah, gravel, asphalt. And that's where I think too, you'd have to conduct a test, like almost, and you'd have to conduct a series of them because every situation would be a little bit different. Yeah, and at least these things can come from over here. I know I'm switching subjects back and forth, but you see what I'm saying? Like, what if you build it the other way? Would it, in the long run, be faster? Because now you're going to take longer. But I don't disagree. I did click the button, right? If I had thought it was a bad idea, I probably wouldn't have clicked the button even. I think somebody said I have the power of the button. It's democracy, but I have the power of the button. All right, there we go. I think we're ready to try to construct something over here, and my vote is that we do the firehouse. And yeah, I guess we need to get, I mean, it's great that we're working on those roads. This one, yeah. All right, well, we got that road being built. We got the firehouse being built. We should probably get the bus platform getting built. And yeah, there's not a huge point in building houses, but this, and there's not really a big point in building the meat storage or this, because at this point these are more like for future when we're actually producing our own. It's good to leave yourself the room, but we're just going to be purchasing everything right out of the shopping center. And then, yeah, the cinema needs to attach to this road. Can I get any of this stuff started if I were to? Oh yeah, we could. Look at that. Yeah, that's. All right, very carefully. No. Good. I almost didn't think I'd get away with it. So this is, yeah, I think people need to walk to here. This, I think, is our kindergarten. Yep, village kindergarten. And I think I saw, yeah, this one comes out here. All right, so let's commit to that. And so this is village. Yeah, eventually they get too long, and then I put one of them up here. The other thing, this one has this open, which we don't really need, but so we could probably put it over here. And then let's just, for the sake of it, assign that guy. But now that I think about it, I want to get these two other guys. Especially this one is more geared towards supplying roads. Yeah, this went up pretty quick. Good. And might as well get this guy on it as well. No, don't build the Lenin statue. Yeah, I really wish they would make it so you can't even tell there's a Lenin statue there, right? You know, so you hit him in the head by accident. All right, good. We're out here paving this one. All right, let's see. yeah, there's just not many buildings we can actually work on. Well, we could start doing this, but I really want to even just go right after the steel mill, because we can purchase, once we have people, of course, to run it, we can just purchase iron and coal until we get this going, right? And then we could use the steel we make to build these things. I know that's not always the way I've done it, but it's certainly more profitable to buy the iron and steel, I'm sorry, the iron and coal, rather than to purchase the steel. It's cheaper, which makes sense. It should be if the game's balanced in any real way. All right, so let's take a look at our little road experiment over there. Oh, were we already done that other road? Because I will... Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? There's no denying that you were right. How's that sound, Rotzko? Hello, Pietro. How are you doing? Yeah, well, that's what happens. You know, yeah, that's what happens. It's, you know, it sounds like we have a ton of money coming in, but no, Rotzko, you were absolutely, yeah, that was absolutely a smarter way to go. And now that this one's assigned, I have no problem, like you said, keep those trucks moving is not a bad idea. Now, the only other thing is that, did we get that thing back? Yeah, look. That guy's still heading back the paver. So in this case, I think we're going to make out okay. But this is what I was talking about. Like, if you've got a bunch of these jobs, you do have to keep in mind that it will... I think you might want to even add another open haul to help try to prevent as much as possible these long drive backs. And it's really the long drive forward. Like, if this open haul turns out not to be in there because the project's time out the wrong way, it can really get to be a drag. The refinery, I'm sure it's doing, assuming we don't have a big backup. Yeah, it's about the same. I guess we're starting to, you know, get backed up on bitumen. Let's see if we can't find a gas export truck and switch it over to bitumen. I don't want to put any on just at this moment, because I want to get, after that, I want to give it a few minutes. Would it really? Oh, it would be on the gravel road. Are we messing them up somehow? Why don't I see any trucks? Now, I'm not sure exactly what the IQ of the average AI truck driver is, but I don't think it's very high. There. That's all I'm going to say about our truck drivers out there. So what you can do is, even though he couldn't find a gas station, you can send them back to a depot, and they will go back to the depot. So good question, Rotzko. You are the man of the hour, that is for sure. If there was an hourly prize for the best suggestions, Rotzko would be the grand prize winner at this point. Yeah, so did they all sit there and run out of fuel, or are we just going to... Yeah, you know what? I was watching the money going down. I remember I said, I don't know what we're spending it all on. It wasn't a matter of spending it. It was a matter of... Yeah, so just this thing. We do have a truck or two, don't we? Well, now the problem is they were... I don't know if they were spaced out at all, and they will get more spaced out over time. But it's... You know, now we're going to have this surge of picking up stuff. Which, again, if we pick up so much... That'll be so. And what was fooling me too is that we're probably not using that much bitumen, but we're using enough of the fuel, right? So when I was looking here, I'm like, oh, no. And plus we were backed up originally on it, So you know what that tells me is that we really need to consider, as we have the money, anything that runs out of fuel up here. It's not going to find a fuel station. They'll run back on empty, but if for some weird reason they run out of fuel up here, they do what that just happened. All right, well, good. We'll have a good shot in the arm. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how much it was, but that was a lot of trucks. What is each one? Yeah, see, that's only $500, but of course I'm just going to clicking on oil trucks forever. What is our? Yeah, fuel truck is almost to 1,800. What is there a bitumen one? No, of course not. There you go, bitumen. Yeah, 3,000 for a bitumen truck. So yeah, that'll be a good shot in the arm there anyway. I don't know if it's 150,000 just because you can see they're almost done, but still, it cost us 150 grand. Let's put it that way, just because we probably weren't producing hardly anything over the last hours. We're still paying for all the people. So yeah, it's definitely, when we get a chance to run power up that way, we should definitely build a gas station. It's just somewhere closer. I guess we should get the roads finished first, of course. And I'm thinking, yeah, just probably right up here. I think after maybe when we get done this section of road, because if I were to ever move up here, I can almost say that this is a nice looking valley, isn't it? I don't know if there's any resources right here. It doesn't almost even matter, but I could picture lots of semi-flat area for building and just whatever else we want. Now, where are we on the mini map? Yeah, no, you know what? As a matter of fact, I think there is some good resources somewhere around here. I don't know if it's, yeah, no, I think this may be it. No, I want to look for, oh, no, yeah, you know, we can look for that. Is it the iron over here, or is it over this way? I think it may be on this side. I think there's one of the better starting spots. Nah, it's over here is one of the better starting spots because it's somewhere along here. Yeah, see, there's some iron around here. Not maybe the world's greatest, but it is iron. There's some coal. Yeah, see, there's some coal around here, and then there's also some oil around here. So if you guys are ever looking for a good starting kind of easy spot, it's near the Soviet line there, which is a little better for getting rubles. So this is the area that we're looking at in the mini map. Let me make it bigger just so you guys can see. So in other words, you're talking like right about the southern bottom middle of the map right there is just a really nice starting spot if you want to go easy on yourself. Okay, which is really not too far away from where we're at. We move over there as time goes on, right? What do you mean a wood train line to the border? No, I'm not building a wood train line. I'll build a train line to the border, but really you don't save enough with the wood to make it worth the fact that it's like you don't save enough. It's the wood doesn't cost that much more. The lumber doesn't cost that much more than the wood does. Like in the grand scheme of things. Like I don't know why you would build wood. Like as opposed, I think that's what you mean, right? Like, you know, if we look at the lumber is like, it's just not that big a price. And then if you ever want to upgrade it, you spend all that steel is just like wasted. It's like the steel costs you $605 and the prefab panels cost you $43 and the boards cost you $12, but it's like $30 difference on a project that's $650, right? Does that or rubles, if that makes sense. So we could definitely build it, but we're working on, and I would hope by the end of this live stream we would get the steel going, because we're not going to build a rail. There's no way we're really going to afford it And why would you do it before you have the steel, right? Like, because we'll be making steel here, and then all of our constructions are like a fraction of what they were before. I'm not going to say they'll be free, but they're just going to be a fraction of what they would have cost. So yeah, we can definitely talk about that. It's not going to happen this episode, and I would use prefabs. And the other thing is we're going to have coal, so there's no reason not to make some prefabs anyway. Yeah, I mean, it's like, I guess I've found the tracks the most frustrating when I've had to upgrade them myself. They're just a pain to upgrade, especially because your economy ends up starting to rely on them so much. So then you end up just building like a whole nother track next to them. Like they're not like the roads where even the roads are painful to upgrade, but the rails really are, because even if you just have one train, you could be making a huge amount of money on that train. So yeah, I wouldn't do the wood, but I would do the prefab, to answer your question, Pietro. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to export steel or not. I guess it depends on how much we make. Like, we're better off just building more industries potentially. But yes, absolutely. Yes. Once we do that, I think the next thing we really should do, in my opinion, is get the power going, though. So whether and I would rather build this coal mine here than interfere with our ability to make more steel. If we didn't have a coal mine right here where we could plop down a power plant relatively easily, and we already have a town here to support it, like, we can get a power plant going right here, because as we get that steel mill going, our power costs are going to become no joke. I mean, they're already not our biggest expense, but they're already a good chunk of change. And that steel mill is going to eat up a lot of power. And producing our own will really cut down on one of our bigger expenses. But yeah, we can definitely vote on, and it's no reason we can't kind of do both, right? We can certainly, start building that. The only other problem we're going to run into is just, money. At some point, you just get so much construction going, you just can't afford to do everything at once. But we could certainly probably get more than one thing going as we ramp up the size. And then eventually, let's take a look at our population. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, this year. How are we doing? It's going upish. I really wish you could freeze these, because look, they've done an excellent job. Look, the only one you can see, which is good, is the population. But look, they've done an excellent job of well, at least this one. I'm assuming you could do this with all of them. If you guys know of a way that you can freeze which stat you're looking at, because I'd love to be able to do that with the births, right? Like, see, there we go on the births, and then I'd like to hover over. It just turns back to this one. Does that make sense? Like, not that I need to do it with the births, but you get the idea. Like, well, how many was it exactly? Especially when the numbers get really big. If you were, I don't know, you get the idea. I think, like this one, it would be kind of nice to be able to maybe hover over some of those lines to just see exactly what's what. I don't know, but anyway, it looks like our numbers are going up a bit, and that's good. We don't have any escapes, which is a good thing. Yeah, so let's go through our constructions. Look at that. Yep, we're falling behind. Slackers. All right, so now that this road is done, we can get in here. Now that all these roads are done. Yeah, what is this? This is the cinema, and I definitely want a fancy road to the cinema. Yeah, this is our shopping center. I want a fancy road to the shopping center. This is our meat storage. I don't even really necessarily care if we have a paved road to that, but you know what? I'm going to do like this so it's a little bit better for this road. This needs just a regular road. This is the pub. We're not going to build the pub. And we need a footpath. Did we build the footpath? Probably not. Let's get a footpath to here. Yeah, let's start getting some of this assigned. Oops. Yeah, build this. I don't really care about that and that and that for now. And then you can do the same things. And then let's see, how are we doing up here? No, we don't want to build that one. Yeah, build this, build this. And then you, now you're the road construction over there. Missing a bus. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, so you're working on the fire station. You're working on bus platform, and you're working on unfinished road 11. All right, you know what? Well, this guy, who's our bring construction supplies mostly guy, is going to help you out with bringing supplies here and here, and he's already assigned to those two roads. And did we get? Yeah, I don't want to build the houses. Well, we could build a house. It's not like anybody's going to move in here, right? But if I did, so let's, while we have a minute, let's just check. Yeah, everybody's got something to do. And just reading over the comments for a second. Yeah, we can export some steel. I read Pietro's comment before. And then power, we're not allowed to export power. So that's one of the rules that we have for ourselves because it's just too easy money. I think the oil business is probably easy money enough if you're trying to make a hard start. But yeah, really, I mean, I understand why you can export power, but it really does. And I know there's a limit to how much you can export, but it really does make the game a lot easier if you do it that way. Fuel for the new gas station. That would be, well, we do have fuel for the new gas station, but I know what you mean. Glad to see at least it was auto purchased so that we're not grinding everybody to a halt. And look, we have that little lone cistern who, oh, he's got bitumen in him. That's okay. Yeah, but at least he's got fuel, and he lost his route anyway. You know, I'm going to leave him here for the moment. Just buy another cistern. And the reason I'm going to leave him here is because if I forget, somebody's going to say, you need bitumen to the new asphalt plant. So I'll just leave him there to remind me, maybe. Yeah, so let's go to an oil tanker. Did we get the big one yet? No, this is as good as it gets still. All right, so now I want you to come to the refinery. And just come to here. Bring me some fuel, please, sir. And you might as well wait when you get me all loaded up. Good to go. Get out of here. Yeah, hopefully this being in there will remind me to deal with that. Now, the other thing is, are we done that road? No. It's going to take longer and longer to get these roads done. It's not because this guy isn't swinging back and forth fast enough, though, right? I don't think he could go much faster without just being like, I mean, he's like the Tasmanian devil. Do you guys remember that cartoon? Or am I just too old? All right, good. You know what? I'm going to stop purchasing from that gas station before I close it because I think he'll get out there with a load. But once he gets done, then we'll take another good look at does that speed these guys up enough that we don't really need any more trucks on here. I say, look, we're already more than keeping up with it, or maybe not. Who knows? It's hard to tell now because they're probably all in a big clump. Yeah, look, they're all backing up, but that's okay. They'll keep getting spaced out. I think sometimes it's easy not to let the game progress to get into like a steady state. So I think we're getting into a steady state here at that point. Let's close this guy up and just make sure these guys have work. Yeah, so let's take a little look at our economy while we're here. Let's do last month since it's stable. Yeah, last month was May. 22,000 in bitumen. Nice. 17,000 in fuel, pretty much. Another 5,000. This is why it's definitely not worth. Look, we drove just as much fuel as we did and less bitumen. So really, what we should think about next is, especially if we're processing all the oil, which at this point it looks like we are, is taking those trucks off of exporting that oil. But then again, we should also probably just build these pipes and tanks too, which will help give us a little bit more of a buffer on the fuel and the bitumen. But in addition, we just won't need all those trucks with the oil, right? Well, because we're going to build our farm, Pietro, and our farm is going to be where the heck am I? There we go. We're going to build a nice farm over here, and then we're going to have, so the farm is going to be kind of back in this area, like the center of the farm, which you can kind of picture. You know, we want to stay away from these rocks anyway. And we want to stay away from the rocks over here. So picture the farm somewhere in about the middle here, which will leave us a good amount of room to cause pollution and whatever else we cause right here. So I'm picturing somewhere probably, you know, kind of keep them a little bit close to the city here. But we're going to be able to put like a bunch of houses right here. Probably some more houses here. I don't want to get too close to this steel mill, but that's going to be a lot of houses if we kind of surround this whole area with houses. And so we'll have alcohol here and bitumen there, but we really just decided to get the steel going, right? And because the steel is going to be the king. It's the best thing to ever export. You need it for all your construction. You know, the reason is, I guess, so you could say if you want like a financial reason, I would say that if we look at last month's imports, even though, you know, one of the biggest imports was the steel, and we only use 6 tons of it. So when it comes to building buildings that use a lot more, let's see, what did we get this month? That was almost a bad example. You know, steel was our biggest expense so far this month, and we're almost done this month, 12,000. And we only used 18 tons of steel. So in order to make up that difference, you would have to sell tons and tons of alcohol just to make up the difference in the steel price. So once we get the steel, then, yeah, then I'd absolutely plan on doing the farm thing right up there. To drop off people for work. That's why a bus goes to the refinery. Yeah, there's no real point in sending them. I mean, they just have to walk. I mean, I built the bus stop and then probably realized I didn't need it. Like, unless it's causing a traffic issue, which I really want to get these pipes. I mean, I'd rather prioritize building these pipes than, but it just gets them right into their workplace. And nope, there goes one. He is going there. And then they just have to walk in. It doesn't really matter, other than if they cause traffic coming in and out. But it doesn't seem to be too much traffic there, in a sense. All right, so well, we really do seem to have slowed down over here, don't we? But we can call it the Roscoe rule of keep the trucks moving. We are keeping the trucks moving, right? So that is something. Yeah, okay, good. Look, we just dropped off. We're starting to pave now, so good. So in a few minutes, we'll get a little bit better flow of those trucks. And in the meantime, having the other one assigned through the back door is getting something else done. But I do like this when the priority is, this is like the second priority. Though I think even that will slow it down. It'll be longer to get this done now because we're spurting some effort into this. But as long as they prioritize this, that's good. In this particular case, because we want to get these guys cutting off that gravel road. Maybe. I'm not going to worry about the amount of fuel that it costs to drive this much further. Not considering it's theoretically doesn't cost us the amount of fuel. It's just, we're processing it from free stuff from the ground. So yes, the amount of fuel that it takes that worker, and how much do we pay the worker? Yeah, it's not that big a deal. It's not that big a thing of an efficiency. Yeah, we probably lost far more than we would ever make up, even though the bus stops are pretty cheap, aren't they? But we still, the bus stop really was sort of a bit of a waste. Because you can just drop them off right there. I just tend to forget you can drop them off right in their workplaces sometimes, like with the schools. All right, now why does this guy have trucks sitting around? Because he's getting done his roads. Now, do we have another road done that will let us build more building? You know what I want him to do? Because I think we're getting... Yeah, I want him to start working up towards that steel mill. Yeah, it's just, there's some things in life you just have to learn when not to worry about them, right, Pietro? And oh look, we can start building this guy. Yeah, it's this guy. Yeah, let's get our sports going because we can. And then this is the meat storage. We really are not worried about that. And this road's not done. Yeah, why don't you help them with that road? Why don't you help them with this road? Everybody help everybody else. Yeah, and this is the main construction over there. You know what? Can you help? Yeah, help with that one. What are you doing? Yeah, you're running low on road, so you can come over here and help with this one. And you might as well help with the sports. Yeah, help with those things. Yeah, we're not building this. Yeah, I'm tempted. Yeah, let's have him just do that one. Oh, no. Oops. Stop that. No, stop that. Not this guy. What is Kusharash? Yeah, no, just stay on those three roads. I hit the wrong guy. Yeah, okay. I was thinking I had this guy, but I think we're in good shape. Let's just make sure. Where's this road? Oh, shoot. I accidentally hit the wrong button. All right, well, we finished that road quite quickly. Sorry. All right. That cost us money, but it wasn't the end of the world. Yeah. Now, where is the road in and out of the steel mill? I don't have a road in and out of the steel mill, do I? Now, the railroad tracks are over there. Yeah, this is, okay. No, that's not so bad. I thought that was going to be a little harder than it was. Yeah, might as well keep... Yeah, I don't like the way it looks, but... Let's see if we can't make it look just a little nicer with our old-fashioned leveling tool. Yeah, because like I said, we can fire this guy up, but we have to get the power. There it is. Yeah, always build a road off the end of your power, or else you can never tell where it is anymore these days. So just as well. So we'll get that. Let's get this guy assigned to that, and this. Yeah, we won't. Well, we can have him work on that or not. Doesn't matter. And this guy, he's just the helper of everybody. And this guy is our road over there guy. He really seems to be... Do we have a problem? Let's turn off the wireframe. No, trucks are going in and out. I was wondering if we... Why is this guy taking so long to get this road done? It just seems like every time I look, not much progress is being made, but it might just be coincidence. But the trucks are flowing, so there's no... Yeah, we're keeping up with... I was worried that we had a gravel problem or something. Our oil tanks, look, they're not even all pumping. We need to get those pipes done. No, we don't even have poles sometimes here in America. We just have, like, we have the electrical poles, you know, the wood electrical poles in a lot of places. Like, they'll just put a sign on the electrical pole. It's Route 72 or whatever the bus route is. And sometimes they'll even have, like, multiple bus route signs on just a regular old electric pole. But yeah, you're right. You really could. Well, a lot of games have, like, you know, like a little bus bench or something that just sort of sticks itself to the side of the road. Okay, we got our bus platform. Now, boy, that was quick on getting that done. Okay, good. Now, the fire station's taking a while, but well, I know the building's not finished yet. I was just clicking the wrong button to test you. All right, what is this? Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we definitely want this. Yeah, let's go over to footpath world. Let's get rid of that, just so we make it one job. All right, and then, oh, you know what? We had more sports. I didn't even notice. There must be a tennis court there. Yeah, so let's get, might as well get this guy. Did he really make it 2 jobs anyway? Bummer. Okay, well, at least we got that going, and we still have him working on here. And let's get these going. Doesn't connect. Okay. Well, you know what? You're going to connect in 2 seconds. Good. And then what is this? Okay, this I didn't do because we were waiting for this, I think, to get done. Yeah. And you know what? We can come right off of here. All right, and that is, yeah, asphalt plant. All right, so this guy's got enough on his plate. So let's get, no, not that. Yeah, let's get this guy helping with some of these. Yeah, you can help with this and this. And then the next thing, we're going to want to get these roads built. Hopefully that all connects up nicely. Yep. And then that one's going to attach over there anyway, but that'll get us to the point. Let's make sure we can build. Not that we're going to build them anytime soon, but this will mess up my roads anyway, and then I'll just delete back anything that we don't want to get built right now. So let's stick with our mega people happy people. Yeah, see, this is a problem. I was wondering if that would... We'll just delete them back anyway. It's kind of a problem when you try to jam so many of them in. So you can put them in the same place, you just can't do it when they're... Now I want to leave these a little bit further apart. I'm going to put my wire... Oh no, don't get citizens. Do we have get citizens on for all these? I think we may have. So we need to pause in a sense of... I need to make sure that when we actually do go to get... Okay. Yeah, I really don't like that it attaches like that. Yeah. We need to be a little further away. Hopefully we didn't mess up. Yeah, we made up for a little distance. Those buildings, they can walk right from one back door to the other back door off the balconies. Hopefully, yeah, plenty of room here. Good. So let's bulldoze that. And then now let's see about getting the road designed and in there. Yeah, I want to try to make sure it's as much right in the middle as I can make it. Good. Perfect. All right, now... No, you know what? I'm going to leave this one. Or do we... Yeah, I'm thinking... Go really close to that. Let's... I don't know what else we might put in here. That'll give things and people a cut through. I don't think that's the end of the world. But also... It will put... that as a potential, and then yeah, do we want to... I'm just going to leave that open as we can. So let's go like this, and then let's delete, yeah, just delete that one. Even though it's not ideal, they should be able to walk there. Now these last houses, we can get like this. This will be footpaths, but I can't really get one. Yeah, I can't do that, can I? No, but I might be able to. This is a little bit, I don't think I ever did this before. A little cheesy, maybe. Yeah. You know, I know that looks dumb, but by the same token, when we get, this will be a footpath, right? It's a good road for that. I guess we could do that. It's not going to make too much difference. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get a footpath there, but they don't really need it. This will be like footpath too. And I don't, this is probably a little dumb too, but all right, so let's go commit to these things. And you know what? We didn't really get this guy, did we? Yeah, we might as well. And this guy could. Yeah, why don't we do this? I don't think it's going to hurt to have this. It might make the difference. Giving them a cut through over to this road. Right. I don't know. Made me feel better. Sometimes it's all about if it makes you feel better. All right, that's a lot more stuff to build. But again, we'll get these things built first. Now let's go make sure. Yeah, he's just building roads. That's fine. This guy is building a road. Building is without power supply. What happened to our power supply? What? Okay, did I do something dumb? Did a building burn down? I think a building burnt down. Really? We got our firehouse done. Oh, you know what? That was one of our questions too. Is that going to reach? Yes, look, it reaches that whole area. So unfortunately, yeah, we lost our transformer. Alright. Let's, you know what, let's go. Yeah, look, that one's not even been built yet, and I've already got to delete it. We're part of it. Yeah, where the heck do you go? Over here, okay. You know what, I think I'm just going to delete this whole line and redo it, because I've had bad luck in the past trying to do partial construction projects on those lines. So this is high voltage. Now let's get rid of this. And then power transformer. Yeah, you know what, we need to delete a little bit of the road. Yeah, a little bit of that line didn't hurt actually, if we want to put it right back in the same spot. There we go. Yeah. And then I think this is just a little pole, yeah. And these little tiny ones, we'll just purchase them, get our power back going again. Purchase those. Then this one we won't purchase. Will you just go right over there or no? So we'll commit to that one. All right, and then we'll purchase. Yeah, let's go back to big wires, and I will read your guys' comments in a second. I don't want to accidentally purchase. Yeah. All right, so that. How much would this cost to purchase? 6,000. It's done. So we get our power back. Pay the penalty for not having any people down here. Right, we got power. And it's not even so much the construction office. Construction office doesn't need power, but the gas station does, and the supply thing does, or else that won't work. Now, yeah, we're just building as fast as we can. Let me read some of the chats. I don't know if I ever, but yes, I think a firehouse can catch fire. If I'm remembering right, I'm pretty sure it has. I think there's only a few buildings that don't. Like, I don't think the electrical lines ever catch fire. I don't think the conveyors themselves catch fire, but like the transfer thing can catch fire. How are we doing here? We're making progress. At least the number's going up, which is a little encouraging. Is there? Yeah, we're just waiting on asphalt trucks. And I don't think there's any... Is there an issue with our asphalt plant? No. Make sure we don't have any extra cisterns there. No, all dumpers except for the one cistern. Yeah, it doesn't say any gravel, but it's just because it's not getting pumped in by a pumping station. These look like they're more than good enough. How is our refinery doing? Yeah, I think we might even want to take a truck or two off of exporting. And I think we really... Yeah, we have plenty of oil coming in, but I don't want to run out of fuel. Let's just sit here and click on trucks. That's the bus. Yeah, let's take this guy. You know what? It really should be... Let's grab them when they're on their way back before they get in there. Let's go over here where they won't get in before I... Yeah, you know what? Go to here. Should we take 2 off? Yeah, let's take 2 off. At least for now. We can always put 1 back. It's not like we're selling them. They're just going to sit on the sidelines, take a vacation for a little while. September, nice time of year to take a vacation. All the kids are back in school and the beaches are still kind of warm. Well, here's the thing. I'm trying not to do too much of anything. I don't want to run out of fuel because as soon as we're going to be on an asphalt road here, which is going to greatly reduce, like too much bitumen for me means that we would be backing it up, right? So we're not backed up where we're not producing fuel. And once this road gets done, it's going to cut down on their travel time pretty drastically. And I just want to see what effect that has because we might end up having to take like more trucks of both off. Like I have a feeling that that's going to be a pretty big improvement on the round trip time. Not only is it not winding all the way through town and all of that stuff, but it's also an asphalt road, so they'll drive even quicker, right? So, and it's a little bit more of a direct route. So let's just see what happens, right? We're not having any problems with the refinery at this moment. I don't think, unless we see that the bitumen is actually like getting up to 250. There we go. We're already seeing a little more fuel. Could be timing. The other thing we have to watch out for is it could be that we, might need a bitumen truck or not, but we get that because they all got backed up like they did at that one point. I'm not sure how much of it is surging of trucks. Like we get a whole bunch of trucks for a few minutes and then we don't get any. And then again, in the top of that, we have this over here happening, right? Where we have, once we get this done, like I said, that'll change the whole dynamic of the round trip as far as the timing goes. So anyway, they're plugging away at it. Let's get that done, but we're in okay shape. Or at least we're producing as much as we can produce, given the people that we have. Yeah, we really just need to get this done now. Get people over here so nothing more burns down. Yeah, that would be nice. Well, eventually, and again, we're waiting on the steel because, we're really not making much money. We're kind of getting close to our maximum production, but these pipes and all are no joke, as they say, as far as the price of steel goes. Does it tell us that? No, it just tells us how much. Oh, planned construction, 213 tons of steel just for these pipes. So 213 tons of steel is at 560. That's going to be what, like $120,000 worth of steel to build these, just to build the pipes. And then we have the pumping stations, which is another 10 tons of steel each. So that's 2 of those. And then we have these tanks that are 11. So that's about 40 more tons of steel. So if we can just get making the steel ourselves, then yes, what I would do is, and the trucks can come right to here, even though I'm not a big particular fan of the trucks coming right to the tanks. We could have this extra buffer here, and then we could even have like a buffer system, like you said, after that. But again, it all costs a fair amount of steel, and we just don't really have that much money. And our priority is getting the steel mill built, so we're spending a good amount of our coin just on getting all these things going. And as soon as we start building that steel mill, that's going to cost us 241 tons of steel. Ouch. And 32 mechanical components, which aren't going to be cheap. Well, Pietro, what you can do, here, we can lay it out, right? So this is how I would lay it out if you want to do what you said. So this is going to pump into here just from the refinery. And then what we would do, I don't know which one, I don't think it matters which one of these is which. What you do is you put a pump in between them so that the one that they export from is the second tank. So let's come here. That's not pumps. So we would put a pumping station. Really kind of have that at the wrong way. So if we had a pumping station here and then another tank wherever. Can I do this? Yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't know that we would build this, but even if this is just for demonstration purposes. And then what happens is that it will always pump this empty, and that this will always have the most fuel. So you would bring your local vehicles into this tank and your export vehicles into this one. Now, I don't know what happens exactly if one's sitting there waiting, but I don't know if the pump takes priority at that point. But this would be the best way to do it anyhow. Just don't put too many trucks on here that you always have one waiting. Probably won't hurt if you export a little bit, right? But that would be the way to do that, so that this one always stayed full and this one didn't. Hello, Mike. How are you doing, by the way? Yes, a vehicle has a top speed. Is there a particular reason you mentioned that? But it doesn't. The road has a top speed regardless of the vehicle's top speed too. So I'm not quite sure. Again, keep in mind there's a pretty good delay in the time I say something to the time you guys get to hear it. So like 60 kilometers is the top. Any vehicle will go on this road, but no vehicle goes over 110 kilometers an hour, so that there's really no limit to some extent on the asphalt roads. So if we take a look at our trucks, which you have to go to like some place you can purchase them. Let's come here. Let's just look. We can't do oil. Okay, we'll go to a depot. So how fast are our cistern trucks that we're buying now? So these trucks could go 70. So they're limited by 10 miles per hour. So they'll go 10 miles per hour faster The other thing, we can't buy it yet, but there is the bigger tanker one that's like the 5610 tanker one does go faster, like 80 or something. And then if you're, I'm assuming until I hear back from you that you're reacting to the gravel road comments being slower. So they'll only go 60 on this road, and then they'll go 70 on the asphalt. But the asphalt road here is actually a good amount straighter. If you look, it's not, you're not going through town here, and they do slow down like on these sharp turns, and then you just don't have this kind of goofy S turn and looping around and another big S turn here. It's a lot straighter. I'm not sure how much faster it'll be, but you get a 10 mile per hour speed bonus plus that. And again, these cisterns aren't the fastest, but if we look at another truck like this one, we'll go up to like 80. Some trucks, I think some vehicles, the buses are going to do 90 or 100, right? Okay, let's keep an eye and keep these guys busy. Oh, look, they're down to one road here. All right, so what are we? Okay, good. We can have them. Yeah, that's our gravel. It'll be nice to get some gravel over here. We can. Yeah, let's. We still have a road here, I think. Yep. It's all right. We can get all this assigned. No, do we not have? Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I know that's not getting us. So that guy can work on that. This guy can keep plugging away if he can. Yeah, he can work on that. Oh, no. Yeah, this guy can just help everybody with everything. No, this is the same guy. This guy can just help everybody with everything. Because he's just more of a supply. I want to start building this road. All right, that's lots of construction aside. Too much. All right, let's get this guy. I really want to get these things. Yeah, I don't mind if they have extra sports. Yeah, let's get this road. And yeah, you just work on these buildings along with him. All right. Oh, I did the same darn thing again. I need to move the order of these. I keep assigning this guy. Yeah, this guy's going up here. And this guy's going down here because I keep wanting to assign this guy to the wrong thing. All right, where did I go? This guy should mostly just, let's focus him in on the things in the town. Good. So all they have is a football field right now. It could be true. I don't use the majority of the construction vehicles. So most all the ones I use are always the fastest ones. So if we look at like the dumper we're using, 70. And this isn't even the best dumper. There's the other one. Most of them are, and we can't, once we get to the 5610, see like this is the open haul I tend to use, and that's 88 kilometers an hour. And then there's the other, like the 5610 is like right in line with this one, like it's 80 or 90. And then what was the other, like the mixer, 80. And usually I go with this, whatever the biggest one is. So I probably would go with the 70 on the mixer. But that's still above 60. Tower crane, that's bulldozer slow. Yeah, so, like, again, I don't use all the slower ones. And in this case, in particular, the cistern, cistern's 70 anyway. So to some degree, it only matters the vehicles that you're using. Are we done this? No. What are we doing? Wait for the roller? What are you guys all doing? Is there a reason all of our dump trucks are sitting here? Do you have... they're waiting on the paver. Yeah, and this is... I'm not... It's better to keep vehicles moving, no doubt. This is the kind of delay that starts to just tweak at me. Unfortunately, we don't need them. They're done here, but they're just... I guess they're waiting for the asphalt paver, who for some reason is probably heading up here at... And then half the time, like the asphalt paver will run out of... Yeah, where is our asphalt paver? Yeah, there he is. I mean, it's yeah, it's going to take forever for him to get up there. And then how much fuel did he even have? He's 0 fuel. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? It's so bad. We're just going to cancel that project and let him. He'll go back and look. He'll get some fuel. You know, do these trucks? Yeah, I think we just lost all of that asphalt. But at least it was just going to take forever for that to happen. And then he was going to run out of fuel, or I don't know what was going to happen to him. But this road will be done pretty quickly, and we could probably, let's make sure, we could probably just reassign it once he's in there. And as long as we make sure the open hall's there. Yeah, the open hall's there. So let's go reassign that. And the open hall should take him out there nicely. All right, let's just make sure that's the way it works. At least if he heads out there now, we know he's got fuel in him. There he goes. Yeah, so we'll be in good shape. All right, so now, yeah, we just assigned enough work for these guys to work until next Tuesday. Yeah, this guy even more than that. Yeah, some of this should go quicker than, it takes a while to get all the materials there, but we'll get it. It'll be good, too, to get some of that asphalt close by. Let's take another look at this. Yeah, see, we're holding off with our bitumen. We're holding up with, it's not any higher than it was before. So we're at a steady state. That's the important thing. A little extra bitumen. And again, I have a feeling that even though it's not going to be the most massive, efficient change in the world, this asphalt road with the combination of it being straighter is going to speed these guys up enough that this is no longer the issue. That we'll have enough trucks, or maybe even too many trucks, because it's holding its own now. After I took those 2 fuel trucks off, we're building up a little bit on the fuel. That's okay. You'd rather build up a little bit on the fuel than run out of it. And yeah, eventually, when we could definitely consider maybe turning this into fuel. And then the other thing that's going to happen is if we do ever get the steel mill built, we'll be able to build all of these things as well. It's kind of a theme with me, waiting for the steel mill to get built, isn't it? But again, we don't have a ton of money. So we just can't do everything at once, because sure, we could get another whole construction crew going, but how is our finances in that respect? We'll look at this one, because this gives you a good indicator. Now, we should definitely be building up. Well, look at last month, too. Now, so this was really, when you add these two numbers, about 50,000. Now, we should definitely be building up something somewhere. I just don't know what we're building up. So we made almost 100 grand. This is only about 65 that we spent. Why? Oh, but you know what? Our money is going up some from what it was, isn't it? So it's not like, I mean, it probably did go up 35 grand. And then if we take a look again at this month, which is almost kind of overish, 70, 38, 48, 50 some. So 20 grand, I believe it could have gone up. I didn't really pay that much attention to 2 months ago, but we're obviously spending it. I don't doubt that the game is accurate in that. Now, the other problem we have, just thought of another problem. We don't really have that many depots. And if we want to take so many trucks off of that run, I don't know that we might not have to sell some. So let's hope, if we build another depot, I would want to build it over here, just so we had one over in this area. Let's just plan one out for the sake of having one over, just so we could buy vehicles over here, if nothing else. But then if we need to, we don't want that kind of road. Let's, right, good enough spot for a depot. No urgency there, but at least we'll have one. Well, we don't have any parking lots, but I don't think we can send a cistern to a construction office. No. Yeah, which sort of makes sense. Now, I mean, I don't know where, I don't know. I mean, I imagine you could send them. Do you mean like a vehicle parking? I don't know. But again, I don't really necessarily plan on building a vehicle parking. I'd rather have, like, it's no big deal. This depot is more useful to us. And I just don't know the answer to your question. But the depot will be useful for buying buses and whatnot over here. And plus, it's not a bad idea sometimes to have them near your construction. So if you want to switch some vehicles in and out, sometimes it's good to be able to take, like, the bulldozer is really not of a big use over here if you're just going to be using this guy to build buildings. You might just want to take, but you don't necessarily want to send the bulldozer across the map. Now, as far as parking them in parking lots, I don't know. I never tried. But in the next weeks, I'm not sure how many episodes in the real series we'll get to building the car manufacturing, and then I will learn, I'm sure, a lot more about how the parking lots work. So if I remember, I'll definitely try to test that. Yeah, Pietro, I don't know the answer to your question. And at this point, we don't have any parking lots to test it. So, but yeah, it would be a curious question, just for the sake of it. I know. Well, see, I don't know. I mean, we really don't. Do you really send the vehicles? You don't, even when you're doing the car parking lots. You really don't send the vehicles there. People just take their cars to there. You put the cars in the car dealership, and then they purchase them, and then they drive them to their own parking. I don't even know if you can send a car to a parking lot. I mean, I know you can send them to the salesman. So I have no idea. Other than my little one test that I ran, that's about I've been working pretty diligently towards our not the real series, but the regular series. Yeah, I've been working very diligently to get our car manufacturing going. It's just been that long since they released that I've been plugging away, and we're getting really close. We got our little town there now, and as soon as that happens, I'm definitely going to jump all over parking lots in different places and getting some people using cars in any event. Yeah, like I said, I just don't know. If somebody else knows, they might be able to answer. I've just never tried it, never had a reason to, because I don't really have that many parking places either on this map or the other. Yeah, it could work. Um, at this exact moment, it's not worth building a parking spot to me because I don't really plan on providing people any cars. But I definitely know I could use this depot, and I think that this depot will be enough. If we have to and we build this depot, at least temporarily, we'll have enough extra space to get some more of these off of there. And then eventually, I hope we could use up some of those. But yeah, see, we just don't have any parking lots around here. How is our people population doing? Well, let's do this year. Yeah, especially before the year ends. Not overly great, but there is a natural dip to things that I don't get too excited about. But how is our housing? Yeah, we're not overfilled. If they're not living long enough, it's not because they're not overfilled. It's not because they don't have university educations. It could be because they have a pub. I mean, those damn pubs from my test are just, I don't know if it's worth having a pub. But the lifespan here is high, so I don't think, and if you look, they're happy enough that they're not even going to the pubs. I just don't think the pub's having any real effect one way or the other at this point. All right, so that's why it's not bad to have this pub here. It's just that if we got rid of the cinema and the football field, it would be, that's when the catastrophic effect of the pub will come into play. And even if you have a hospital, it doesn't make up for the fact that you have a pub. The pub will kill them faster than the hospital can save them from cirrhosis of the liver. Uh, yes, well, the fuel usage will go down as I get more of the electric trains and more of those things. At the same time, I do plan on building another refinery. I have a little thing called Plasticton, and it's sort of over in the near electric where I'm making the electrical components and where I plan on making the mechanical components. If nothing else, I'm going to make plastic there, which will require oil. And there's certainly no reason that at that point we couldn't, make another refinery and sell off whatever excess. I would want to prioritize the making plastic as opposed to, well, again, we could make another refinery there once we get the oil field kind of opened up, so to speak. See how much oil we actually use in a bigger plastic producing situation. And at the end of the day, I think that it is all, you don't have to be 100% self-sufficient. Right? If you've got good exports, you can import a bit of fuel, especially if you've swamped your, if you've really used a lot of your fuel, like, just around your settlement, so to speak. You could definitely afford to purchase some stuff in at times. Depends on how much other stuff you want to buy and are able to build. And then at some point your map just crashes, right? Because or just lags itself to death. I'm most amazed that my map is still kind of going after all these months. I think sometimes that the reason my series has lasted longer than some of the other guys is because I do everything the hard and slow way. it doesn't overload your map nearly as quickly. When you're doing all this construction, even from the very beginning, it just slows the beginning down so much. And then what happens is you get further behind the inflation here when you're doing all this manual construction. And if you're further behind the inflation, then it's always harder to get the next thing built, because the next thing to build is always more expensive. So I think if you start on real hard with just $1 million, it just makes it a very, very tough start, and you get behind, and then it's just really hard to ever get caught up, or at least get caught up even near the point that you would be if you had auto built a lot of stuff and got money quickly. Oh, there we go. We're getting close to this. It just does take a while to build this stuff. I shouldn't laugh. Just can't help it sometimes. Yeah, let's just keep this guy working on this, because if we can get gravel brought over here, we could probably... Yeah, I don't want to block off too much this way. And maybe if we're going to be building a whole farm over here, it might not be bad, to take this road straight and maybe just put another construction thing over here. Does that sound like... Just delete this road so that we can make it a one shot deal. And then let's get this leveled out enough anyway to at least think about building a construction thing. Then we'd have 2 construction offices over here where we can switch vehicles back and forth. It's not that I would buy a whole new set of vehicles, but I think it would be worth getting our supply guys over here when construction's hot and heavy, because we are planning on a big amount of construction, or a decent amount over here. Let's zoom in so we can see. I'm gonna turn around so that I don't... Yeah, let's hit R one more time. Yeah, might as well keep it close. All right, so there we go. So that would, put them close enough to the fuel station, I think, and we can pull some more of those vehicles over here at that point once we got all the supplies here. The only negative will be getting dumpers. How's this guy doing? Speaking of dumpers. Oh, we're done. Okay, look, there we go. So we have our cars, or not cars, we have our trucks going. And look down, see, now they're doing 70. So that's good. They're not hitting the 60 speed limit anymore of the road, which can't hurt them. And like I said, it's a little bit of a quicker shot. Now what we can talk about is, should we build a gas station out here? Which means we'd have to build power out to here. Now, we're not allowed to build without building electrical, which is fine, but we would need it anyway. And when I say that, we can't start a town without running electricity to it and having a road connection, just for the sake of not being able to build anywhere we want with no penalty for building anywhere we wanted. So what do we think? Do we put a gas station here just for the sake of, we can have one of the trucks come up and fill it up, and that way anybody who needs fuel can get it? Let's let them finish this stretch, because I'm thinking, if we ever did build, this would, not be the kind of area, and it's far enough away from all that they should be able to find it one way or the other. It's out of the hills, so if we did want to put a construction office over here down the road, we could. All right, so let's go take a look at the rest of our constructions. Yeah, we're doing okay. And this guy, Yeah, sometimes the other thing that's nice about this when you're doing the manual assigning is that they just let you bop around the map back and forth. Like I knew, click on this guy will get me right back to this neighborhood. All right, what is that? That's our meat. Yeah, we're not going to build the pub. Are we close? We got all the stuff. We just need people. Come on, people. Which we knew was the problem. So as soon as this gets done... Ooh, you know what? Let's... Oh, that's not done yet. Yeah, then we should be able to... Yeah, we still have a little ways to go, don't we? Yeah, let's start building this. Because we do need to get them a footpath. Or a path. Yeah, I guess there's no reason we can't start building this, at least with that guy. Make sure these guys got plenty on their list. Make sure they don't get lazy. And our money is really just not going up, is it? Yet when I look at my this... Oh yeah, look at that. Construction's 32. So I think it's possible that... Well, it's definite that we're going to get surges in how much steel we're using. See that? 25,000 in steel. So whatever we're doing right now, yeah, we're buying steel like it's going out of style. And it's probably, oh yeah, we're probably getting into more and more of these conveyors. Oh, look, that guy's done. So gravel. So we can start hauling some gravel over here. Good. Okay, so let's so at this point, when you think about, you know, we've been at it for over 2 hours, and we had the little snafu with our refinery. Let's take a look. Bitumen building up a little bit. Let's keep an eye on it. It's not at 250, so we're still producing. But look, our oil's going down. We might want to take a truck off of the oil export if that keeps up, but we'll keep an eye on it. And I forget what I was saying about over here, other than we have the gravel. So we really don't have... Question is, do I build more dumpers or buy more dumpers? I really don't like to buy more dumpers until we get the better dumper, which we can't, right? No, not quite. I forget what year that comes in. I just forget. I think it's in the 70s. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to steal the dumpers out of here, but I think I could... How many does this guy have? He's got 3. Let's steal one of them. Just for now, at least. Because I think I want to move these guys over in the near future. Now, you know what? I'm not going to steal them. Let's just put 2 trucks. Let's go buy 2 trucks in here. Sorry for the hemming and hauling. Yeah, we're going to get 2 dumpers. And we'll give them the same route. Which will be here. Here, here, and there. Oops, I didn't mean to open you up. Yeah, and this, yeah, we don't really have a good, it's not a worse thing to have the drop off if you're going to do it this way. Let's have them wait for now, just so that we know it's filled up when they go to drop off. We probably don't need to. So you can get started. Yep, load, unload. There we go. So at least we'll get some gravel heading over here. And then once we do, get some gravel over here. Actually, we'll switch this guy to getting it from here, and that's good because oh look, we can. We're really close to getting our cement over. Well, no, we're not because we have to get a few people, and which probably means we want a bus stop up here, don't we? Or down here. Yeah, maybe down here. That might be too close to these lines. I don't really want to break that road to put the other kind in. All right, let's see what that looks like. That'll fit right in. There we go. And then some footpaths. And, oh, you don't have footpaths. That's okay. You can either walk along the road or can we do that in one shot? That's pretty good. No, right there. As good as it gets. I can live with that. Yeah, so before we can fire that up, we'll have to get those things built, but that's okay too. Now, are you working on the asphalt plant? No, you're not. Why don't you do that? And this, we're going to have to build that other one. And you're just helping everybody with everything. Get some materials over here. All right, everything else is kind of good to go. Now, as far as this goes, how do we stand? Are we purchasing? Yes, purchasing. Just to check that. Cinema. I feel like we could use a footpath from the cinema. I really could. Yeah, we got a footpath over to there. Yeah, for now that'll be good. Eventually we might want to put another footpath over to here if we get more houses. What is this? Yeah, it's our school. We definitely need that. We need to get this other road done. And yeah, you can help with that. You can help with this. This guy's actually more geared to just helping. Though we do somehow, and not that. Yeah, I don't want to assign you that. I want to keep you going with roads. And you can help with the footpath. Good. That's plenty for them to do for 10 minutes. All right, what do we got? Boy, is it. Did you get done more than I was thinking? Yeah, it's just. Oh, no, it's. No, we're just waiting. Yeah, let's wait until this one. Until he brings that out here. So what are we waiting on? It's got to be some tiny, again, amount of asphalt. Yeah, well, maybe a truck, right? All right, so once that truck gets there, well, we could... Yeah, you know what? We're going to go with the theory of keep the trucks moving. Can we get to this guy? Yes. Okay, good. Yeah, because they probably were all sitting around in here. Yeah, look at them all go. Good. Get to work, boys. And, oh, look at that. We're getting high on the refinery. Oh, we're getting low on the oil. Okay, I think we should convert... Well, we have these trucks over here. Yeah, I think we should convert, though, even though we have those trucks over there. Let me try to grab an oil truck coming back. like that one, and tell him to take bitumen instead of oil. So that at least we're not exporting that oil. So we'll slow down on the exporting of the oil a bit. And I think I'd like to even find another one. Oh, good. Yeah, so you get some bitumen instead of oil. We'll just see how that goes. I'd rather not... I'm okay with not exporting all that oil necessarily. I definitely don't want to back up on bitumen, though. All right, so we'll see how that goes. See if that has enough of an impact. Again, because it could just kind of be the timing of things. Yeah, they're probably all oil trucks. That's good. It's giving us a chance to catch up on our oil anyway. Now, is there... I just want to see, make sure there's no... No, I don't think there's a traffic jam. I think they're just all... Yeah, I think they're just all kind of clumped together. Not right together, but they're... there's a gap in the loop, in a sense. Let's jump on down to here. This is really, get this going. We're getting close. We got another half hour at least in the thing. And we got our power up here yet? Do we have, let's see if we can assign. I know this is a little off the subject, but yeah, we'll at least get him to bring some materials out there. Good, we got this. Now, that's done. Can we get that guy working on that, even though he probably won't even help out by the time. At least get a house or two going. And, yeah, let's assign that one, too. We can get, I don't think it really matters which house is that much. It's a lot of construction. Yeah, our money's going back up a bit. I think we just bought a lot of steel to get these conveyors going, and that's just a lot. Well, there's 13 people, it says, watching it, so I don't know. Some people tend to be quiet, and they're probably watching or doing something else. Who knows, playing their own game. He cannot take oil because you sent him to an oil rig. Who cannot take oil because I sent him to an oil rig? I don't know what you mean. Or he cannot take bitumen because you sent him to an oil rig. Did I? Yes, I did. That's not what I wanted. That's what I want. Load anything. There you go. Did I do the same thing to this one? Yes. Oops. As they say. Good. So if I send them to an oil rig, that means I took off our oil rig trucks, which is not really what I wanted to do. So what is this guy? Yeah, so that was from here and from here, right? So I think let's go ahead and find a truck that's coming back. Oil refinery fuel. what I want to do is take the trucks, 2 of the trucks off the export of oil. Export and bitumen. And they're all going to be their way up here, aren't they? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. At this point, it probably would have been easier to do it. There we go. That. Oh, no, okay. They're going to an oil rig. No, I did. Okay. I probably did it right. I got you. Good. We'll see what happens. As long as we don't keep running out of oil. And we're not out of bitumen, or we've picked up enough bitumen. I just would rather this guy not stop if it was all the same. So I see, when I'm taking the oil, I'm taking it from here. I can't just switch it. So as long as I catch them on their way back, I hope I didn't take any of my trucks off of here. All right, so how are we doing with this? We're rollering, it looks like, which is good. And then once that gets done, we'll see about building a gas station up that way, just to have it so we don't end up with that backup, which may have just happened because of the restart of the map, but I still don't want that to happen. And then if we ever did want to build construction up there, we'd already have our gas station and power, or at least minimal power. And this guy, yeah, Village Road. Okay, good. Look, we got some gravel. Oh, we not have much though, do we? That's all right. We're filling up this one anyhow, which is fine. I don't like the fact that you have to have this pump here in order to fill these up, but at the same time, I'm glad we can fill these up because I like having that extra buffer. Because it seems to me that the demand comes in surges, even when unless you're really just doing a lot of a certain type of construction, like railroad tracks. You bring out a bunch of gravel up here, and then it slows down for a minute, and you catch up. But that's good. We're getting some gravel over here. We're not really ready to fire all this up until we get some people. And we got all our things, so we're going to work on this house. And we're getting this road paved, and then we also need to get enough footpath activity happen here that this guy can get to the bus stop. I'm hoping that just getting this house built will be enough to get them to the firehouse. Though in thinking about that, I think I'm going to want a footpath, aren't I? Yeah, let's just do that footpath as well. And then as soon as that house is built, I think the next priority becomes maybe getting that other construction crew over to here. Because by the time that's built, I'm hoping this house is built. And then we could start moving some people over here. And then even if we don't move that many people, even if it's just enough to keep our, the town functioning, plus get some construction over here. I think it's going to really speed up the construction in this area. Foxy Cool, you missed 2 hours. As you probably know from watching the live stream, it's not like we get that much done, even though we try really hard. When we're doing this manual construction, we just still don't. Our money hasn't changed much from the time you left. You can kind of see from here that we've got more stuff built. We've almost got our cement going, and we'll be able to get some bitumen going over here and some asphalt. I built another little bus platform. Or we didn't build it yet, but then we got, almost ready to get some people over here. I'm hoping we could do it before this live stream ends. I was kind of wishful thinking to hope we could get the steel mill done, but I'm thinking now if we can get the steel mill started, before 5 o'clock, that would be pretty reasonable, I think. But I just don't see us getting it all done before some normal or semi-normal quitting time for us. And other than that, yeah, we're just plugging away. We got our road built a little bit further. How are we doing on that? Is this And it's just a long stretch of road, isn't it? Just takes a while because this is fast forward speed. But in the meantime, the good news is we are getting materials out here. Even if our... Yeah, see, this is what I'm worried about. Like him... He went all the way out there. He's out of fuel. I assume he'll go all the way back. But it just took him... Look, we've got all this gravel out here. In the time it took that knucklehead to drive all the way out there without... Yeah, the game has no sense of if I wait for 5 more minutes or another minute, I can catch the flatbed when he gets back. Yeah, there's the flatbed sitting there doing nothing, but the bulldozer's out there. All right, how's the refinery doing? Again, as long as these numbers, I don't mind if the oil was a little more maxed out, but it seems, is that going up? I think it's, well, I know it's going down this second, but if we're not, well, I don't know. When I pulled them off of here, I really didn't, I stopped the oil export, but I'm not sure if it really affected how much oil is getting into this. Because it's not like they were taking oil to here and then trying to export it. They were just taking it to export. So I might have just slowed down how fast these are running. But I did increase the amount of bitumen we're exporting. So as long as that doesn't slow us down, we're in good shape. And as we approach the end, let's make sure we're not... Oh, look, our people aren't overly happy, are they? It's not like they're pegged out on their happiness. And what is our... Let's do this year. It's only February. Let's do last year. Yeah, we're not growing quite as much as I would really like. As this year... Yeah, we've got about the same number of births and deaths. Now, I'm not quite sure what we do about that. We've got doctors. We've got an ambulance. We don't have any patients. I mean, do we have unemployed? Yeah, I mean, plenty of people are unemployed. We don't have plus 21s. Now, again, I don't mind that we have those unemployed. We kind of drug over those extra people. Now, we could put more people in the oil refinery, but it's kind of doing okay. And I'm going to take, quite a few of them and get them over here. And then before you know it, we're going to have more jobs for sure than we do people. Yeah, are we even working on this? No, because we didn't finish that road at that time. Yeah, so this is kind of a high priority. And this guy helps everybody with everything. And you are... We still don't have the kindergarten or the school done, do we? But it's not going to hurt. Well, we need to get those things in place before we bring people. Everything's got to come together at once, which is okay. It's to be expected. Good. We got the footpath done there. We didn't I have footpaths coming out this way? Oh, no, it was up here. Yeah, you know what? Let's assign. Yeah, we'll get those worked on. Yeah, I think some of our delay at this point, when it comes to this construction, is probably people. Your top priority, this asphalt plant's going to suck up a good number of your people. And I think if we probably went around and looked at the kindergarten, we don't have all the supplies. But we have supplies, but no people. So it's okay. And I feel like we're doing as much as we can do. Even if I made it that much more efficient with the money that we have. Now, speaking of the money that we have, since it's pretty much all coming from here. Yeah. I don't think I did anything to increase the amount of oil coming in. So let's find an oil tanker. You know what? It should be pretty easy, shouldn't it? Because they should be coming right from here. Oil refinery. Yeah, custom house. So let's switch this guy to go into the oil refinery. Let's find another one from, say, this oil rig, because why not? Yeah, we'll switch him. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'm just going to add the oil refinery to him. All right. So I want you to unload oil and then go export. So if there's a need for oil, the only problem with this is that he'll go here even if he's empty. But there's really maybe what I should do. Nah, we'll just, yeah, I think we're just going to send you to the oil refinery because I don't really want you running, because you're going to be empty a lot at this moment. And then eventually we'll just build some pipes, but that'll keep us from exporting a little bit extra. And for some reason I closed this one. Why are you double clicking like that? Village construction. Oh, are we done this road? Yes, we are. Or no, we're not. Yes, we are. Good. Let's build a house. Doesn't connect. What? Still not done? Thought you were. Oh, look, good. We're done over here. So now the question is, yeah, I think we would just put a gas station in. And I'm wondering, let me take a vote with you guys. What do you think of just bringing the power in from NATO over there rather than running the power lines halfway across the map? Like, what if we just brought it in here? I don't think that's, oh, we don't have a power here. Okay, well, that's a thing. It would be here. It would certainly be shorter. Or is there an advantage to running it? I mean, we already have a switch here. I guess in some ways it's not that far. I mean, because that is all the way over here. It's not that much further. It is further. And I would say we should probably, if we're going that far, we should at least run the bigger lines. Because to upgrade this would just cost a lot more. Let's see. That's a long line. It's a very long line. All right, I'll put it right there, and then it's never a bad idea to put it a switch. So I think I would probably put it this way. And then I'd put my substation like right there. And then we need to get a little road to it. Now, how prepared is this guy? Probably not. And this is all kind of an extra little thing. Now, he just has dumpers, though we would need dumpers to do it. He can help out. He does have an open haul. Not sure if I want to get distracted from our main goal here of, well, at least we've designed that, right? It doesn't hurt us to just sit there. So what is unfinished road 5? Is that this one? No, it's 11. Yeah, so we're waiting on what? People. Oh, look, we're getting this finally going pretty well. The kindergarten. We done this one? Is this one 5? Okay, good. This one's 5. That's a good one to get done too. And I think that's just a regular road. It's not a fancy road. So as soon as he's done, or is he manually paving it? Jeez. So he's waiting on people. Yeah, see, it's it's better to be organized sometimes than just do things. Oh, there we go. Look, we got. Yeah, don't buy bitumen. Let's go get our bitumen truck. I don't know if we'll end up needing 2, but I think it's this first one in line here. Yep, he's already got bitumen on him. So we want you to go from here and load up and bring your bitumen to here and unload. Now, I don't know if we're getting... Yeah, well, now that the oil refinery's open, yeah, look, our bitumen's getting kind of low. We don't really want any of these to max out. Not low, but it's going lower. I'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, the only problem with starting this guy is that he's going to be running back and forth indefinitely because there's only one parking space in the asphalt. So you really can't leave him parked there. I really wish there was a two parking spaces there. See that? Where you could get at least leave the bitumen truck sitting there. Like the concrete works out great because you can get 2 trucks in. So even if you leave it, if you have your own cement factory, you can still leave the cement truck in there while other guys picked up stuff. Oh, good. So at least we probably filled this guy up too. Yep. So at least we've actually got enough gravel theoretically. Now we just need some people, but that does mean I can take this guy, I think. Good. Yeah, so that should save him some trips. Now the question is, are we going to have enough gravel coming in fast enough? But we'll see. We'll let it, hopefully we won't use it up too fast. Okay, this road's done. Is this road done? Yes, good. No, why do I keep hitting that? There we go. And then, is this road done? Yes, very good. All right, so there we go. We're building two houses. As soon as they're built, we can at least start moving some people in. Though it really would probably be nice to get... Yeah, you know what? Can you... Well, you're not the best one to help with that. Let's see. I don't know that you're the best one either, but... But actually, Village, does it have a roller? No. Yeah, we need one with a roller. Village, why don't you also, because really I want to get this built and some people in as much as anything to get the firehouse going, just so we don't lose any more buildings. There we go. And we do have a fire truck. No, let's get a fire truck. Level, it seems like the level is the number of people. So I think that that's a good thing. So we'll just get 112. And I think that'll be fine for the region. And good, we'll get these things built. Now we do need to keep working on, let's make sure. really want you to get that road done. Good, you're working on it again. Can you get this road done? Yeah, that one's still not done. The reason for that is we need to be able to get people to their goods and also up to this bus stop. And I'm not sure. This guy should walk around. The reason I built these two outer houses because they would be close enough to get to their goods, I think, and maybe close enough to get to here. So let's also have this guy, speaking of getting to there, I definitely think that, I mean, why doesn't that connect? Oh, because there's a little tiny jit there. That's okay. That's right, because it's split. I got you. All right, but I think I assigned that one. I don't know. There we go. Do that too. And you can help with footpaths and whatnot, because that'll be kind of important. See, there's a little tiny piece right there. That'll probably can work on this one as well. Might help this guy get around the block. Yeah, we need to get it all done, but I'd really like to get some people here because I really think that would speed it up. And we only got 10 minutes left. I guess we could, just to say it and call it done, we could start working on our steel mill, but I sort of wanted to do it after we had people here. But we're getting close. We're getting, another whole 3-hour live stream. And then right after we get people here, I think like I said, we'll get this other construction office going. So what do you guys think as we're about to end? Is there anything you think we need to do that I've missed? Something to try to remember for next week? I guess we could assign at least the road here and here, right? And then the question is, why not assign that little bit of road? Yeah, that's going to be painfully slow from this far away, but I'm not sure what we can do about it unless we build another construction thing. And even then, it's not really the issue of the construction thing. It's the fact that our gravel's coming from all the way down here. Nice. So what do you guys think with 10 minutes left to go? Oh, don't all scream at once. Anyway. Yeah, we got plenty to do. Plenty to do. Are we missing anything? Do these have power? Yes, they do. Does this have power? No built, no power. Never fails. Never fails. Now, if we come over to here, look at that. You bugger. I'm not quite sure. Here's the thing that I don't understand. Maybe let's just go into 276 to go to that, but it won't go to this one, which is probably closer. Let me just try something, which would be really weird, but can I get a footpath? No, don't touch there. And I'm just going to auto purchase this. I don't want to accidentally do too much. Just curious if... Does it follow the roads, maybe? Because when you think about it, this one is a little bit closer by road. Where this one would, almost like if it was a footpath or road kind of issue. All right, well, we really, really need that particular thing to have power. So I'm thinking, and this guy's going to cover at least most of this. I'm assuming he'll get this one. So let us say, what if we put one here where we knew it would pick up these things in case that one didn't? And put it on the other side of the road. No, not really. Yeah, so that's too close. Yeah, if we're going to do that, well, that would cover people that lived when we move them in down over here. Yeah, so let's just go to, like, say, there. Oh, no, there. And then what we'll do is I'll put in a switch so that eventually if we put people over here, we're going to need more power out over this area. So we could just take it from this one. You know, and I want you to be right there. Yeah, I don't really want to. I want to stay out of where we might build. Right, where do we have to go to? Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Wasn't quite. It worked out very well. I wasn't picturing that, but I'm very happy with it. All right, so let's commit to that, and then you can go. I do want you to do that one too, but not. Oh, come on. There it is. And then this doesn't connect. You know what? Let's get some dirt roads going. So now, what do you mean doesn't connect? Oh, because this road's not built. Okay, well, we still needed to do that anyway, right? All right, so let's get you helping with this road. Let's get them all helping with this road. Good. Look, we got bitumen. So we have asphalt if we had people. Yeah, I think our population just went up a little bit. 1246. Yeah, so we'll see. I think we're not doing bad. Yeah, so we need to get that road built. Good. This road got built, which means yeah, we're a little closer to building that one. We're ready to build the steel mill. Yeah, they need to at least do some kind of a shadow thing where you can see those, in my opinion. Yeah, so what else are you working on? Yeah, just mostly stay working on those flats because now we really, of all the buildings not to have power too, That is the one that we would want. So why don't we... I think that once we have people in here, then we'll call it quits. Which I don't think will be too much longer. We'll push the subject as much as is possible. So I'll stop assigning other things. This guy can go do other things, but we're just going to do whatever it takes to get the power down to here. And we'll stop assigning other things. We'll just get it to where at least we can get some people. And then as soon as we have a few people, which means power to here, then we'll call it quits. But I will assign this at that point as to being constructed. And then we'll just worry about whether they can walk that far or not. That's a little bit secondary. On that note, I guess I will go against what I just said a little. Look at the two little... Yeah, so we will do that footpath. Yeah. Because there's not too much point in assigning unless they can actually make it to that bus stop, but I don't even know who I assigned to what there, but let's get this guy. Did we do that little? Yes. There we go. And then this guy can help everybody with everything. Good. That'll give him a much better chance of getting to that bus stop, even if we don't get this road built in the meantime. Yeah, one more. Yeah, that'll also give this guy a slightly better shot. And let's assign this guy to do footpath. And we'll get this, this guy, well, he's got buses. I mean, he can go back there and get people. That's all right. We'll just keep the constructions to a little bit of a minimum. What are you doing? Bringing us gravel? How are we doing? Oh, we're doing good on gravel over here. Probably means we're not getting enough done. There goes our excavator out to do something. So we're flats. We're just waiting on people. How is our people doing? How's our... Oh, look, we're getting low on bitumen. Yeah, maybe we switch. I'd like to get somebody, yeah, switch a fuel. No, switch a bitumen to fuel on his way back, or her way back. There's one coming back. There's a bitumen coming back. Yeah, we'll just do one for now. It's not the end of the world if we don't. Might be enough to throw the balance, but I like the fact our oil is going up. We put those extra trucks on getting oil over here. I'm okay if the oil backs up. I know that might not be the most possible efficient, but it's okay. People are reasonably happy over here. Now, when we're looking at that population too, I have to keep in mind that's the whole map. So we should probably come over to this 1,700. So I really should be looking at that more than the whole map's population, I guess. But yeah, we don't have any plus 21s. I think we're growing our population. You know, when it comes to babies, we got a pretty good number of kids relative to adults. No education people, again, it's hard to tell. Is there anything wrong with this? No. If we look at these outlying, nobody's uneducated. Some people have electronics, computers. A lot of people educated with university degrees. Good. Yeah, which will be a little bit of an issue over here until we get a university going. Village unfinished school road. Well, you're just helping bring supplies over more than anything. And work on roads when you can. And you, yeah, you're doing mostly the roads, but you should still be helping with the flats. And what number road is this? Now, is this other middle guy? Because he does have equipment, but it might all be tied up driving back and forth. Yeah, he's assigned to help you, but Lord knows when he'll get there. It'd be nice to get our ore going. All those prefab panels. Yeah, I guess it would be better if these guys are just working over here, especially if they're working on buildings. Because over here, if we signed everybody, they'd probably run out of gravel eventually. So it's not better, but it might be better to assign these guys to, like, from these other constructions, to get things like prefabs from over here. Oh, good luck. We have 2 people. We got 2 tower cranes. So how does 2 people do with 2 tower cranes? Yeah, we'll stop working on this for a minute, even though I think they're... Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, stop working on that. I'm going to start stopping them from anything but the main thing that I want them to do. Oh, there we go. Look, there's finally the paver decided to drive all the way there all by himself. But the good news is now that he's there, we don't need people on this job. They'll pave without any people, which is good. Which is all the more reason. So we got flats is fine. Yeah, well, footpaths is fine. Yeah, this guy, footpaths, this road. And then as soon as he gets this road done, we'll be able to get into here, but then we'll have to get this little section of road done. Good, we're getting there. So is there anything you guys want to see before the stream ends? You know, do I need to check on anything? I mean, we could look at our costs. Let's make sure this guy's still assigned. Yeah, why are you have 0%? Is it just because you're on the extreme? I mean, at some point, oh, you know what? He doesn't have any ability to... As a matter of fact, this does not need to be anything but a dirt road there. Yeah, and you don't have any ability to... Yeah, so I think I'm just going to leave that up for next week. It's not going to really stop anything. We got this whole section done, so now... Yeah, you know what? That's like a whole separate road there. So the good news is our trucks, it's not that much different, but they should be, yep, buzzing right on down the highway, making them even quicker to get stuff going. And where? Okay, you're taking asphalt paver out there. Yeah, so the problem here, you know what, we're just going to do that. It's done. But yeah, now when we get next week, we can get this built with a regular construction crew. That guy, there's no more, at this point, the way it's designed, there's no more, but there's only like 2 more stretches. So good. And we don't really want to build this until we get the power out here. I don't want anybody stopping there by accident. All right, very good. So how are we doing on this road? Now we need to get the roller. Tell me you're bringing the roller out with a flatbed, please. Yes, there he is. Good job, buddy. Somebody's smart in that company, even if they're all not. Yeah, so as soon as that's roller, we can get that done. Good. The timing might not actually be that bad as long as we can keep some people over here. And yeah, they're going to run out of happiness so fast it's not funny if we don't have this store going. Like I said, that's good. Look, we got that power line done. Oh, is this road done? Oh, good. Okay, so let's assign this guy to here and there. And you can help bring him materials. And you can also do this road. And you can do this road. Now, how annoying are these? Yeah, these are annoying. Doing these in the substations are annoying because you don't need much of materials, but you need all those different phases. And we ran out of people again. You know what? I did head over there. I was just going to look and see how was our bus stop of people doing. Well, that could be adding to the problem. I mean, we do have quite a few unemployed. And the other thing we could possibly think about doing, do we get many workers sitting here? No, because I think whatever we do get, don't we did put buses to go over to here, so it's not like they're, even if they go there, they should get a fine job. So it's, I don't know why, well, you know what, because that's probably the people around the map. I don't think we have that many unemployed. Yeah, so we have workers, just a matter of getting the buses over here and getting them picked up, and hopefully the timing on the buses doesn't get them. That's the worst, when you send the bus all the way over from there, they come over, there's no one there at that exact moment. See, like, that's a cistern. Yeah, this guy's driving back and forth endlessly. Yeah, I really wish there was I would definitely, of all the things that I've learned to deal with and not learned to deal with the parking spaces, which I wasn't real good about when I started the game, the single parking spacing here is just one that's still, it's still a bugaboo. I guess you could build a tank and all that stuff, and because then they can wait at the tank. There's probably about 400 people. If we take a look at like this, you can look here. And I don't know exactly what you mean by the old village. But if we look here, the population is 17,400. And then if we look at the total map, it's 2,200. So that's saying that there's, what, less than 500 people around the map? Now, if you mean by old village, like the village, that no, I took all them out. And you could see them if you like looked on here. So like there's the, oh wait, how did we get 15 people in there? There was no people in there, I thought. Yeah, there's 15 people in the village, according to this. Now there's only 8. 7. I thought I took all the people out of here. 1. All right, well, guess what? Now there's no people in the village. Yeah, I thought I'd taken all of them out of there at some point. Somebody else may confirm that memory if they've watched all the live streams. I'm pretty sure I had taken everybody out of there. I don't know why. If there were, I guess they're all gone now. But though they shouldn't have necessarily escaped, because until you provide them with something, they don't usually escape. So I don't know. But no, there's either way. I guess anymore there's not is the answer to your question. But there are 400 people around the map, if that was what you meant for your question. And yes, if you're thinking I should move more of them over, we will. Probably not this week, but we'll do it, maybe even the beginning of next week. Because we are paying for all these people. Like, we've got a bunch of extra people, more with the idea to get them reproducing, because I think they pretty much stay stagnated if they're in all those villages. But I don't want to pay for, like, so many extra people, but I do want to get people, kind of maxing out the number of babies we can have. So, and I think that was good because it increased the number of workers we get over here. Yeah, look, our bitumen's still... Yeah, I think we need to find another... Oh, come on. Yeah, return a fuel truck, switch it over to bitumen. Well, let's just do anything. Yeah, go get some more bitumen. Or no, wait. No, get some more fuel. Sorry. I want to return a bitumen truck. Nope. Of course not. Where are you? There you go. Yeah, stop exporting so much bitumen. Yeah, we'll just leave that on anything. There we go. So that at least will cut down a little bit on the bitumen we're exporting, a little bit more. Try to keep that balance so it stays running full speed. Yeah, Shunter, thank you. I am getting a little older. Forget some things. But I was pretty sure. But why did it just say there was 8 of them in there? And then all of a sudden it let's see, can we replicate that? Let's see if we sneak up on them again. Yeah, look, the village population, 355. Isn't that weird? I don't know if you guys can read that, but that is what it says. Number of buildings. That's weird. All right, well, I'm just going to close that and ignore it. There's nothing I can do about it. But yeah, no, there's some glitch there. That there's no way there's 355 people in there. I painstakingly took all of them out of there. It's pain. But look at all those little houses. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Are they not? Oh, no. You know what we're going to do? Emergency construction. Call in the Martians. Yeah, purchase it. How are you doing on this? Purchase it. Do you have power? You have power. You have power. Very good. You got wobbly power, but I'll take wobbly power. Yeah, no, we can't. I don't want to lose all those people. It pulled them in from around the map. We didn't purchase them, but still. And we don't have our school done. Yeah, I forgot to uncheck that. So let's go, and the school will become an issue, but I don't think it's an absolute emergency. Let's go ahead and just, I don't want to do it that way. Let's at least just purchase this little bit of road. And then this guy, okay, look, they're going there for work already, so that's good. Now, are these people? No, because we don't have this little sliver of a footpath done. So you, village construction, yeah, work on that. else would we work on? Any other? Yeah, and the school. All right, and then, yeah, see, I think they'll be able to make it around there if we get that little footpath done. And then this one is probably not a bad idea either. And then what we can do is say your source of workers is going to be this bus stop. Yep, village bus stop. So we're going to call this the village. So this is, you guys ready for it? Anybody from the 70s? Is this where the village people live? Sorry, that wasn't. All right, I'll be quiet. I do make myself laugh though sometimes, which is all that counts in life, right? Sorry. Okay. So good. We got some people over here. We'll get that, which should ramp up the number of people, if anything. Yeah, and sometimes look, we probably, good, we'll have that done lickety split. And then, the next thing would be to get a little tiny bus, which I guess we'll have to buy over here because we never built that depot. Sometimes having fewer depots is good because then you don't accidentally. We just need something, carry like a few passengers. I don't really care how fast it is. Let's just buy, is this officially the cheapest bus? Yeah, we'll buy the van bus. And then we will take the van bus back and forth between the bus stop and this bus stop. Go ahead and get started. Do we have fuel over here? Plenty. Good. Just to make sure. As we start more and more vehicles, it would have been good to check a while ago. And then the people that work here, I want you to go 50, 50, and that should make it. Yeah, we're building up. We might want to, in the beginning of next episode, we definitely want to keep an eye on our gravel. Yep, there we go. Now, can you guys get to that bus stop? Yes, I think. Yeah, good. So depending on where they want to go to work, they can. We've got them. That's the microbus. Yeah, we've got them working on the village school. And let's get these guys help everybody with everything. That's probably going to be done before we know it. Yeah, so we can ramp up the number of people and all of that, but we do have some people. And I think it's official. I think I'm ready. Steel mill. Steel mill. And you. Steel mill. There we go. I don't think we'll get that done too quickly, but we got to the point at least that we've got a little town over here. And again, give me, if you guys have a vote on the village being the name, because if you don't change the name of it, I may keep saying that that's where the village people live. If that's okay with you, that's fine with me as well. At the same time, I don't know if that breaks the cheesiness meter or not, but we have found out where the village people live. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go search 70s music or 80s music. Probably more like the 70s, I would think. But they were around in the 80s too. All right, well, there we go. There is our, I think that's pretty much our live stream for the week. Let's pause it. Is there any last things that you guys have for advice that we should do before it ends? While I'm waiting, I'm going to say LS after 10. So live stream after 10. That way we know we got to save, and this is, oops, I probably should have paused it, but that's okay. I usually check right when I start it up if it's paused or not, but we'll come right back more or less to this moment, minus those couple seconds. But there we go. So we finally got a house over here. Let's just check. I like to, whenever I close the map, even after a lot of the regular episodes, say I like to go around while I know what I was doing with these assignments, and I tend to want to assign them there, so that way we know that guy's assigned come next week when we fire it up, and we know this guy's doing the school and the steel mill, which is good, and this guy will do this. All three of these will do the school and the steel mill, and at some point, I think, we will talk about what we're going to work on next, in a sense. I mean, it'll be a while getting the steel mill done, but I don't think we have to exclusively work on the steel mill, especially, I mean, I definitely want to get the support buildings going, but we can import iron and coal until we get the support buildings fully built, and that'll immediately give us some savings on the rest of our constructions, which means we could consider the next thing. And we really didn't design any of this week as far as getting the farm over here maybe and all of that. Now, one other thing, this is where Neuve Revergrad is, and I think it's right over here is a bunch of oil. Either there or there. But a bunch more iron over here that we could take advantage of. Other than that, a little tiny bit of coal over that way. Some more oil. There. I don't know. Someone asked about incorporating the village into the plan of the city. I'm forgetting exactly whose suggestion that was at this moment, but so I said, well, as a compromise, why don't I just take all the people out of here, and then we can decide on how it works out later on with trying to, like, they wanted to keep the nostalgic look of the little village at that point. So I said, well, we need to kind of get the people out just so they don't get all messed up, but eventually they may become part of the town. Don't know. I think some people actually like the way the little village is, and it is kind of a shame that you can't. I don't know that I would really want to build a house that little, but it would be nice if you could, rebuild, maybe not that village, but, it would be nice if you could have access to some of these buildings, and I think they give it a different look at that point. I think there's a certain group of people that like to, one of the more, I don't know how much more challenging, but certainly more challenging things to do is like not build all the new houses. Like you can only use the old buildings. And again, this village is pretty weak here, but like say you took over this town, you wouldn't be allowed to build any more houses than what you have here. And that is it's an interesting challenge, right? Like, so you need to work within the confines of where people already live, and it puts a lot more challenge than you might even think on your map, because not only do you have to like get them bussed around the city just to get their needs met, but then you only have so many people here, so if it limits the size of the whatever industry you have in that area. And also you have to have a little more strategy of, I'll have a city here, how can I get the people over there? And if your city's here and your oil's all the way up there, it would change your strategies and whatnot. But as far as this village goes, yeah, I don't know, but there they are. I'm not sure what to say. We'll see. Maybe we will incorporate them. They'll be like our suburbs. Maybe the rich people will live out here eventually, right? Something along those lines. All right. Any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I want to say goodbye and hope you guys have enjoyed it. And next week we will pick up where we left off on getting the steel mill going. I guess, yeah, definitely want to get this other construction office going and just generally improve the heck out of town. But I think, and then talk about whatever our next steps are. Pietro was talking about getting the rail going. I think that certainly as soon as this steel mill's done becomes, and the iron and the coal as well. So once all this is done, steel is just a lot less expensive. We might be limited by the amount of steel we make, but there's certainly no reason we couldn't start building a lot of railroads and getting this kind of stuff all built up and going. So in some ways, we're biting the bullet by building the expensive steel industry first. But at the same time, I think it will greatly expand our capability of doing construction within our budget. We really lost about $100,000, I'd say, over the course of this, but that's okay, right? We're making progress. Okay, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. You're always welcome to leave a comment in the video, and as usual, I will definitely try to respond. And I hope you have a good week. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.